Welcome back to another edition of 13 Card Subject Change. Leroy's here, Jesse's here. I've been stuck with Leroy for 3 days now. It's been something.
That sounds quite lovely, to be honest. The man can cook. The man is very great.
Well, I can cook, yeah. But I was glad I met an old friend of
my old college buddy and a high school buddy. Yeah, no.
And then I got introduced to one of the greatest cups of dumpling soup that I've had.
Oh man! All right, so
that sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
we will promote that.
Jesse, we might have to take a 2-hour trip just to have lunch at the Rock Creek Cafe.
All right.
Because we'll get into the story when we talk about NerdCon 3. But we actually came home with a half gallon of soup. It's not for Leroy.
No, not for me.
It was for a buddy of mine who wasn't even there. We'll tell that story in a little bit. But anyway, welcome back. Leroy and I are back from a absolutely amazing show from MAW. It was live at Nerd Out Con. Nerd and Out Con, I apologize.
3?
Yes, it was on Fight TV. It was MAW's debut on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Jesse has it saved. He's going to watch it here in a little bit.
I'm going to watch it. I think it only cost you $10, so if you haven't seen it, go ahead and go get it.
We're going to talk about it later in the show. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the people of AEW, I don't know if they've killed their momentum, but they have stalled in ways that we can't even begin. We're starting the day off with a card that Leroy and I have not had on the show in a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, the AEW Impact Partnership is officially over, and nothing happened.
As of last night, when Christian Cage lost.
Oh, my God.
Well, Christian Cage?
We will.
Christian Cage lost to Josh Alexander.
But surprisingly, the Good Brothers retained.
I do have all the results.
Nobody gives a shit about the tag titles in Impact. I'm sorry, they don't. Yeah, but anyway,
I got all the results.
So this partnership began. When did Kenny win the belt? It was about 3 or 4 months ago.
No, I think it was actually 5 or 6 months ago now.
That must have been a whole year.
So spring, not summer.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometime in the spring, AEW decided that they wanted a partnership with Impact Wrestling. It was a great move for Impact just solely based on the fact that there's a national television in AEW.
It started as the thought of being a great idea.
Right, yeah, exactly. And what it turned into was, and I'm not even doing this for effect, it was an absolute shit show.
It was.
Jesse, I'm sorry. This is one of the worst deals that Scott D'Amore has ever done, ever.
Like I said, 3 months in, he had to regret it.
No, Jesse, and the fact is that Dixie Carter, we all know, was the worst thing that ever happened to TNA.
Oh, not without question.
But her deals may have lost her parents some money, but it helped the company. Mm-hmm. This literally did nothing for them.
Right.
I mean, people have to understand something. This was the most fruitless partnership for one promotion I've ever seen in my life.
It basically it damaged a whole main event scene
that they had spent 2.5 years rebuilding from the debacle.
And then
of the Owl era, basically.
And then only thing that really started to help again was the fact that Scott was able to start working with New Japan again.
Right.
So there was no point to continue it because it was doing nothing for them. It was losing them numbers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it got King Switch in their ring.
Well, yeah.
But here's the deal. I think Jay would have done something like that anyway because ultimately, if you look at it kayfabe-wise, he was there for David Finlay. He wasn't there because of Kenny.
True.
That was just a happy accident.
Right.
I mean, Leroy, you and I started the partnership. I mean, what? They were – I think it was right after Kenny's win we started doing that segment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kenny –
he was AEW champion in December.
No, yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's when he won it, and then
is that when he won the Impact Championship?
No, that's when he won AEW, and then it was within 2 months of that.
Okay,
2-3 months of that he went to.
Yes.
He got the AAA, and then he went for the Impact.
Okay,
so about February.
Okay, yeah. So about 9 to 10 months.
Yeah,
somewhere in that range. But anyway, so Leroy, we started doing that segment, and I don't honestly remember any week that something actually came out of it except that Kenny got to be a lesser version of the cleaner. Was the best way that I could describe. There was a bus segment that sadly you could tell was pre-taped, which made no sense because we spent the entire show.
Was clearly pre-taped in Jacksonville, by the way.
Well, but here's the deal. The entire goddamn show, the bus was in the goddamn parking lot.
Yeah.
That's what made no sense.
Right.
And what I thought to myself is, oh shit, they're finally going to get this right. Scott was probably going to be the guy behind it, not the EVPs who were in charge at the time. But oh my God, they're going to end Dynamite, go straight into it, and we're going to open the show with Kenny showing up because he just took your world championship.
Right.
And we waited 2 hours on Twitch for nothing.
Yeah.
We waited 2 hours on twitch.tv.com for nothing. I mean, folks.
The bus I met sucked.
Folks, well, not to mention that Jesse came on the show the very next week. That might have been when you started to actually consistently come on. Your exact, your exact words were, and I quote, "He cut the same goddamn promo on Dynamite."
Yep, the week before.
Well, he did. It was the. I just. Folks,
he did that multiple times.
Folks, Tony Khan has opened the door to the point where I can literally sit here and I don't have this reservation in the back of my mind of maybe I'm right, maybe I'm not. I'm actually right in such a piss poor situation because if you look at the facts now that it's over, nothing happened. If anything, it killed Rich Swann's momentum.
Yeah.
And honestly, when we talk about last night. Big ups to the Inspiration, by the way. Love to see them back together. I think that Peyton Royce now realizes nothing. Not that she couldn't go single, but maybe right now in her career, the best thing she can do is to stay with Billy.
Exactly.
And to stick out what they were doing together.
I agree.
I know everyone sort of has that thought of going single.
Yeah.
But right now I'm not saying she could never do it. I'm just saying right now in her career, I think the best place for her to be is in that tag team.
Working with a friend that they work very well together.
Well, the thing about it is that, and I'm serious, the natural chemistry they have, it's Trish and Lita level of just how well they play off each other.
Right.
Different dynamic because they're obviously friends in a tag team.
Right.
On camera, and in real life, whereas Trish and Lita were more friends off camera. But, I mean, the way they play off each other, they did great. I loved it. The entrance was absolutely fabulous. So happy they're back together. And so happy that they're in Impact as opposed to AEW, a company that actually gives a shit about their women's tag team division.
There was only one highlight of
I think they're even better than, WWE, honestly. But go ahead, Leroy.
You know what the one highlight of this AEW merger?
Yeah.
Christian Cage. Christian had a great year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was one of the headliners for WWE.
I still say that was Christian's doing
AEW.
more so than what AEW.
Well, yeah,
did,
I know, but he headlined AEW and then he headlined Impact.
Which is fair. No.
Damn.
And that's fair.
That was
but here's the deal.
But that's the only thing good.
Well, but here's the deal. If it's not an exclusive contract, which I don't think most AEW contracts are, and Christian certainly isn't, in my opinion.
No.
I see that more as Christian just wanting to do the best that he could do for somebody.
Right.
But folks, we might get to Bound for Glory, which a little bit later in the show, but we're just going to tell you right now. But what bothered me the most was what Kenny could have done. Which, because obviously this was just to give himself another belt to call himself the belt collector. That's all this was. It was nothing special. But what could have made it special and what could have made me have a little respect for Kenny, and I would have stood up here and I would have given him all the credit in the world for it, but Lord knows he can't figure it out. Oh, wait, because Gato's not there. Anyway.
Yeah,
but here's the deal. Moose ended up with the world title anyway, but I hate to say it, taking it off of Josh Alexander the same night he won it, is copying the Money in the Bank concept. Sorry, it is. But it doesn't mean as much as if he saved Impact by beating Kenny.
Right.
So Kenny buried two of the top African-American stars that weren't in WWE.
Yeah.
Not saying Kenny's a racist. Not going there. I'm just saying, Jesse, the visual is...
Well, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
well, we can say that.
Jesse, you yourself said, I think it was to Dante Martin... As a young African American, look at what's going on in WWE. You could go there and they would feature you.
Yeah.
But again, so you buried two of the top, not just two of the top main event stars, but two of the top minority stars in a company. And for what? So you could walk around with their title on another show.
So John Callis could try to become the Paul Heyman of two companies, which he's never been good at.
Paul Heyman brought in Don Callis.
I know.
Just like this new Paul Rudd Ghostbusters sequel, which I'll see only because of Paul Rudd, and not because it's not an all-female remake. I saw the all-female remake. It was awful. I'm sorry.
It was just written badly.
But
I didn't think it was awful.
I thought it was awful in comparison to the fact that people... Okay,
I enjoyed it.
Here's the deal, folks.
I thought it was okay. I just thought it was... No. It's fine that you liked it.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But see, here's why...
I found it really piss poorly written, though.
But that's to my point, is that, Jesse, you had a bunch of women that are good at being comedians. The problem is that what made Ghostbusters famous was it wasn't written as a comedy. Bill Murray just kind of made it a comedy.
Well, it was for comedians who made it a comedy, but it was actually just an adventure film for kids.
But that was the thing, was that they weren't trying to create comedic spots.
Right.
It was really just Bill Murray being Bill Murray for 2.5 hours.
And you know what the funny part is?
What?
I watched it last night with my kids.
Fantastic. But that's just
Very
my
moving.
thing.
Bought both of them on Vudu.
30-something years later, it still
Oh,
holds
it's
up.
still arguably the second one's better.
Actually, the second one, well, you know what?
Arguably, the second
it's up
one's better.
there, though.
Yeah.
It's a close tie.
But
It's close.
But anyway, no, folks, this was what it was. It's a bad parody of what Paul Heyman would have done.
Yeah.
It's a bad parody of what what ECW did later in their career.
Or Kenny was just trying to stroke his own ego.
Basically, that's folks. Kenny Omega, since he got to America
Or
and
Don
has basically
Callis
been
was stroking
yeah,
his ego too.
and has basically been been allowed to do what he wanted and didn't have Gato telling him no. Is Kenny Omega is showing you he's nothing more than an egotistical prick. I'm sorry, he is.
Let's flip that sentence. So he got the chance when they first started to kind of do what he wanted.
Yeah.
And now they all no longer have the power to do what they
Right.
want.
Yeah.
Probably the smartest thing Tony Khan has done.
100% agree.
We give him that. That's
But
it.
but anyway, folks, we can't even sit here and chronicle the partnership because we just did the only thing that mattered. Oh yeah, that's right. And the Good Brothers got a couple of extra title reigns as the Impact champions. I don't know, but they were signed.
They're just buying their time so they can go back to Japan.
Well, they were signed to Impact before they even
Right.
went to AEW.
Right.
So they were, folks. It made no sense because the bus got more play on AEW television when John Moxley and Eddie Kingston drove a truck into it. Which,
Right.
by the way, with the horrible editing, you could tell nobody was in the bus when
Right.
they did it. So it's
Right.
not like it was live anyway.
Right.
It was another bad People give shit to Vince for going pre-taped early in COVID because they didn't know what they were doing because of COVID. But AEW throws in bad tapings randomly, and I don't understand why. Because
Plus, during COVID, it allowed him to let people go home for a few days.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
come back to it.
well, it was like Impact tapings. You show up for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Every day you go there, you film a few segments, they splice them together, oddly enough, well, and then you go home for like a couple more months before you.
Schedule is beautiful. You go to Nashville.
Yeah.
They tape for 3 days that week.
Yep.
And then you can go home, and then you just got to come back to if you're not living there, you can always just come back to next week.
Which, by the way, if I'm scheduled for 4 or 5 straight weeks of taping, I'll just buy a Airbnb type house outside of Nashville, drive into town in the morning, do 8 hours of taping,
Right.
and then go home.
Right.
Yeah.
It's literally a 9 to 5.
Right.
It's just a little more physical, which by the way, now we're getting into another segment, and I'm sorry, I don't agree with it. Last night on Saturday Night Dynamite, Lance, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
What was that? Why was that? Lance,
Good news is he's okay.
from his own 2 lips, he's fine.
Yeah.
But
Good news is the doctors
But I
have
don't-
kind of actually semi-cleared him. He didn't damage anything.
No. Okay, I sent this to you because he's officially said something on it, and I'm sorry, I've got to say something on this, but anyway.
I watched the video, and it's just I showed Eben the video
Okay.
too, and he was
Okay.
like,
So
holy crap.
So okay, Lance Archer has released a statement following Dynamite going off the air. Listen, we choose to do this, and we take our health and lives in our own hands every night. I've done that move hundreds of times over my career, just under-rotated. Could have been much worse. Thank you to all the AEW for taking good care of me and protecting me. I'll be back. Lance, I've seen you do this move, but I've also seen you, since you left the G1, not stay in the shape that you were in that G1. Jesse, am I being overcritical, or is I maybe?
Well, no, he's not in the same shape he was when he did the G1. No.
No. But my point is this: is that Lance? Yeah, you've done it hundreds of times, but now that you're somewhat over, dude, you got to call a guy like Vince and understand that you don't need to be doing it.
no.
Work big guy matches. It's okay.
No, Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse. Okay, but Jesse, people are going to come at me and they're going to say, Damian Priest, who has stopped doing the moonsault unless it's on pay-per-view.
Right.
He doesn't do it on Raw.
Right.
He did it every NXT, but that's what was getting Vince to notice him.
Right.
Then he
Right.
goes in for more training at the Performance Center, which I think was him, Omos, Keith Lee, a bunch of guys were there to sort of learn how to work big man.
Yeah.
I think Big Show was there for a little while before the contract ran up.
Otis was in there too.
Yeah.
Big Show was there to shrink us. They did that to him actually when they first signed him back in '99. Was like, hey.
No, I'm saying Show was helping in the training.
he was doing the training back
Okay,
then,
yeah. But anyway, no, guys. Lance is a guy that we've hoped could come back from injuries. He came back from a horrible back situation. Had an amazing G1. And then I'm looking at this like, okay, you could squeeze another 10 years out if you slow the fuck down. And, Jesse, I'm afraid that he's in a company where no one's going to say no because they're all under the mindset that Darby Allin is. And I look at Darby Allin in, sadly, a very low light these days when he doesn't realize that he shouldn't be doing that shit, especially if it's for a normal night's pay.
Exactly.
No, if I'm going to do that shit, Tony Khan, you're opening the damn checkbook, and that one spot's going to cost you $10,000.
Right.
You're not just paying me for a day of work to come in and fall down 2 flights. We talked about it last week. I'm not going to go into it again. But no, here's the deal. I think it's bullshit what Lance said, and I know that it's Lance's personal decision. He has every right to his opinion. If he's happy working there, whatever. I don't care. But you are not going to be able to do that. Guys, people give Vince shit for bringing in people that work 20, 30 years for him. We'll talk about Goldberg's Crown Jewel match, which, again, we'll get into in a little bit. But a reason why Goldberg can come back was Bill Goldberg was an athletic big man who never tried to do things he wasn't able to do or shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
And then Vince is that guy who can bring back stars because he's told the stars, yeah, it's the land of giants, but Jesse, they've been able to go for 30 years.
Yeah.
Vince has the best track record of legends of any territory, of any company.
That's true.
Because he got it. You said last week on the show, I forget who we were talking about, but he would have brought him in. I think it was Kenny, actually. If he'd gone to WWE, they would have looked at him and said, okay, you're 36, but we can get 10 more years out of you if you slow it the fuck down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's why I think people don't realize that if Keith Lee stays as whatever this Bearcat thing is going to be, as old as Keith is, they're going to get another 6 maybe good years out of Keith.
They might get another good 10 years out of him because they're going to basically they teach you, hey,
and at this
on
point,
a normal TV night, you don't need to do nothing spectacular.
Yeah, and at this point, if Keith only gets, let's say, a 2 to 3 real top-year run, that's not bad for Keith Lee. That's not a bad world for Keith to live in.
AJ only came in 2016. So he's only been in WWE for 5 years.
And he's had arguably one of the greatest WWE careers.
He's had one of the best 5-year runs you've ever seen in pro wrestling.
In any company.
So, and then you add on what he did.
And we did
in
do
New
the
Japan.
math wrong. I think he's only 63-some matches from having more, not the 22 we were talking about, but 60-some matches. I mean, Jesse, by this time next year, by the time his contract's up, AJ will have wrestled more in WWE than he ever did in TNA.
Which is insane.
And no one ever thought that was going to be a thing. But just this move by Lance on not even a Wednesday Dynamite when they would normally get their 800,000, but on a Saturday night where the 800,000 clearly don't follow.
Right.
Sorry, folks, you proved that.
Right.
But Jesse, what was the point of him doing this move against Eddie? Him and Eddie have not had a program that people have cared about. This was randomly on a Saturday night to try to draw a number, and it's Lance damn near paralyzed. And by the way, I'm sorry, I did not want to say this, but somebody brought this up, and this is a point to make. And somebody in AEW better goddamn hear this. We'll, so I swear to God, we'll tweet it if we have to. Jesse, the great Hayabusa.
Yeah. It's kind of what happened to him. A move that he had hit a million times over, and then just goes wrong.
The size of Lance is the only reason why he didn't break his neck.
Right.
The size of Lance Archer is the only reason he did not break his neck in that situation.
Because you look back at Brock Lesnar.
I'm about to say Brock
Lesnar, Kurt Angle at WrestleMania, what he did.
If Brock's shoulders weren't the size of Mount Rushmore,
that would have been it for him.
Brock,
but he doesn't remember anything before that. He remembers everything after that. He doesn't remember.
Yeah,
till he's done. His career could have ended right then,
and that's why Brock stopped doing it.
Yeah. It was the only time I've ever seen him do that.
They told Brock, don't ever do that again. You hit it in OVW 1,000 times. Great. You tried it at WrestleMania. Awesome. Don't ever do it again. And I've never seen Brock even touch the corner of a wrestling ring to go up since that moment.
He's never gone on a rope.
I can't remember now.
Brock's never thought about it.
No. The most he's done on the rope when he superplexed Big Show and they destroyed the ring.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's the most that he's ever done
But that's
on the rope.
a big guy spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the way it should
But
be.
but the point is that Jesse, when I saw him come back in that G1, especially when it was in Texas, it was the Dallas show.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, God, I want this guy to go another 10 years. I want to see him have a career that sadly he was robbed from in TNA because they just gave up on him ever meaning anything in that company, which is really weird for how talented he was in TNA at the time. But just Jesse, this explanation, I know it's how he personally feels. It sounds very it sounds too professional.
And what's crazy is the fact that like if he didn't go to AEW, he'd be fine because in New Japan, those guys they take a lot of injuries, but they're small injuries. So yeah, you can look at Tetsuya Naito and go like,
we talked about it last week. Gato sends guys home for
I'm about to say, oftentimes
for nicks and bruises to
like
basically heal up.
If they start to add up to close to surgery, they just send you home. Like, you know what?
Why was Jesse crying last week? Oh, I don't know. Shibata showed back up and actually had a pretty good exhibition with Zack Sabre Jr.
As Gene said in the thing.
Oh my God!
Don't allow that man to ever do a top rope headbutt again.
No.
But the blessing is the fact that he can now do what he loves and he's very, very great at in this wrestling.
But it's just Jesse, Gato, Vince. No one else is on their level of protecting stars.
No, probably not.
Because you said it yourself, Inoki was never good at it.
No.
And that's maybe why the stars of Inoki's era didn't last as long.
They never lasted very long.
And Suzuki really only lasted because Suzuki was a junior heavyweight.
But he was also one of the first original MMA fighters.
Yeah, exactly.
He wasn't a dude that was going to come off a top rope.
No.
He was always smash mouth.
No, exactly. But Suzuki has found a style that at 50, it's not like we're seeing anything less of what he already was back when he was 30.
No.
That's it's just people want to continue, and actually Aaron Bowles just said it in the lounge this morning. Y'all, Dynamite's not better than WWE.
Not even close most of the time.
You just hate Vince.
Yeah.
Folks,
I saw that too.
Yeah. He also asked, and we'll get into this a little bit in the bit here because Jesse can't wait to go off on this. He doesn't even know it yet. I don't know if you saw in the lounge. Who have the Elite put over? The silence tells you what that'll be, but no.
Nobody knows that no one gets put over in that company when it comes to the Bucks. Nobody.
But anyway, to finish.
Nobody. There's so many nobody songs.
Yeah, there really is. There really is.
There's a few.
But before we get to that, Jesse, I felt like I was watching Hayabusa. I've seen that spot 1,000 times, and it never gets easier to see.
And here's the thing. Hopefully.
And Hayabusa, by the way, folks, was about to become a Japanese icon.
Yes, he was.
And he already was, but I mean, like, he was about to be on
a whole nother level.
He might have been the junior heavyweight Inoki.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's how great Hayabusa really was.
That's how loved he was. And like
he wasn't called the Great Hayabusa for nothing. He was
just
damn good.
One time, one move went wrong, and that was it. So
D'Lo Brown, I hate to bring this up because I love you, D'Lo, but no one's ever blamed D'Lo with draws.
Well, no.
Mm-hmm.
It was one night, a safe worker who never hurt anyone before, who never hurt anyone after, did a movie 100 times, and Draws was never able to walk again.
Right.
Which Draws is the first person to say, I don't blame D'Lo.
It broke D'Lo's heart almost.
It did,
if it wasn't for Draws, D'Lo considered stop wrestling because he couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. Fingers crossed, Lance never do that shit again.
Yeah, please. No. I don't care if you've done it 100 times. This is not an example of get back on the horse.
Right.
Rey Mysterio is an example of get back on the horse. but again, Rey
He's adapted his lucha style so much.
Well, not to mention the fact Rey's never been known for a move where you sat there and said he's about to break his neck.
Right.
His knees are shot. and if Dominic or Aaliyah ever have beautiful grandchildren, Rey's not going to be able to bend down and play with them.
Probably not.
But Rey's knees might be up there with Mick's, and I'm saying, and Mick's knees are actually not bad. It's his hip.
Yeah.
But I mean, Rey's knees, he's got to be up to like 8 or 9 surgeries on his knees at this point.
Rey's kind of small, so he wouldn't.
He
wouldn't be that far off the ground, so it might be easier for him to be there. Yeah.
That's fair. But
that's why a lot of his impact moves is him landing on his ass.
Yeah.
And he's already short, so it's not going to do that much damage.
Yeah, more cushion.
Like stupid ass Hulk Hogan trying to jump in the air all these for 30 years, and now he's like 3 inches or 3 feet shorter than he was when he started pro wrestling.
Who is it?
With all those
Yeah.
Well, yeah, surgery's on his back.
Who was
yeah.
it? I think it was Harley Race once said, "My grandmother delivered a better drop kick than Hogan." That was Harley Race. I'm
I
pretty
love
sure.
Harley.
I'm pretty sure.
Love you,
but
Harley.
no, okay. But now, Jesse, we get into another topic for AEW. Who have the Elite put over? Don't give me Jungle Boy, because guess what? We all know he got buried after losing to Kenny.
Dude, I was right about that.
You were. He didn't lose to Miro like you thought.
Right.
But he went nowhere.
I'm like, he's going right back to the damn tag division. That's where he's going.
And that's exactly where he's been. And by the way, folks,
Number one tag team there, but
nobody seems to know that. Nobody seems to
To
care.
be fair, though, he won Anna Jay, and that's the big prize.
I don't see. Gene just posted on that post. I don't think Dante Martin is over because of the Elite.
Hell no, he's not.
He's over because Malachi Black turned around
Right.
and for the first time in the history of Tommy End's career was like, okay, damn, the kid's got something.
Right.
Jim Cornette put him over.
Right.
Jim Cornette loves Dante Martin.
Right.
Absolutely gushes
Right.
over Dante.
Well, and then just the fact that Malachi sold the fact that
I swear to God, if they
he's the only person he bowed his head to in respect.
I swear to God, if they turn Dante Martin heel, I'm done. Because he has no business being heel right now. Dante,
I don't think he'll go heel nonetheless, or so to say.
yeah.
But I do believe there's a rivalry coming with him and Leon Rush.
Yeah. Leon Rush. We said Leo Rush, but either way.
Yeah, I keep calling him Leon Rush on accident.
He might as well be at this point, folks. He's going to retire and just come back with a new name at this point. It's the only thing he hasn't done in retirement is come up with a new gimmick. But anyway, no, Jesse, the Elite have not put anyone over. They've done nothing.
To be fair to you,
They killed Adam Cole twice! They killed him on BTE, now they've killed him on Dynamite.
baby.
All we got to do is all we got to do is somehow kick him out on Rampage, and boom, he'll die on 3 other shows.
listen,
Are we gonna say his name again?
they killed
You want to help me?
Adam Cole.
Baby.
There we go. There we go. Thank you, sweetie. That was awesome.
It's so weird. They have become the Baron Corbin vacuum of their own company.
The sad part is Baron's actually taken everything they've given him.
With
and ran
Baron
with
though, it's the way they book him.
it. Yes.
With the Young Bucks, it's them.
Sadly, and even you came around once and said Baron's made everything that they gave him work. If you just believe in kayfabe for 5 minutes, it's all work.
Bum-ass Corbin was one of the best things I saw this year.
It
was amazing.
It deserves to be on an award show, which you know Dave won't do it because the gimmick of the year has to start with 17 AEW things on Dark before we can get to Dynamite.
Right.
And then all of a sudden we're going to turn around and be like, oh, okay, we'll throw one WWE thing in there. But no, Bum-Ass Corbin was great.
Bum-ass Corbin was great.
And Pat McAfee helped it, and Pat wasn't even involved in it. Pat just said things. It was great.
Which apparently Vince loved that he called him Bum-ass Corbin. Apparently they almost made a Bum-ass Corbin t-shirt.
Oh, God, they should have.
Bum-ass Corbin. And here's the thing.
Although sadly Darren might have sued his brother for libel suits,
That's
but
true.
you know we're
That's
not going to go into that.
It's a very interesting family, isn't it?
No. They always go through these ups and downs of
These
homelessness.
legal battles, how much they all like end up homeless at some point.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's super
crazy.
weird. Yeah, it's super. We gotta talk to Darren about some family counseling at some point, maybe.
I think they all need to go to counseling.
Yeah,
get this figured out.
Yeah. Just Darren, leave your consultant at home. Anyway,
or unless he gets kidnapped again.
Exactly. But anyway,
but with Corbin now, it's one of those things. They booked him into something where you're like, okay, he's trying to make it work, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
it was basically we have nothing for Riddick Moss.
Basically,
it's basically what it was.
And here's the other thing, like with Corbin, it's the way that they book him. With the Young Bucks, it's just like
It's who they are.
it's them.
Shawn Michaels, let's be honest about something. There are lines that Shawn refuses to cross now that he's born again.
Right.
But Shawn also knows when sometimes you got to do shit for TV.
Well,
These guys.
he also crossed a lot of lines before.
Exactly. So I mean, Shawn knows not to talk. But
Right.
my point is that the sad part about it is, look, I'm fine with being left and Christian and all that conservative shit. You want to be that, fine.
Right.
But if you're working TV, you got to figure something out. They try to fit stupid heel shit into conservative Christian shit, which has never worked. It's never made sense.
No, that does.
You can't.
No, you can't.
It's just Jesse, when you're a heel, you got to do things that people are going to hate. Not do it to the point where people don't like it, but they're still okay with your religious Christian Jesus crap. You can't do it. That's not how the wrestling business works.
You can be a heel and not have to worry about the 10 Commandments. You can get away with it.
God likes professional wrestling. He's not going to be mad.
God will forgive you because you're playing a character. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be straight up.
I mean, folks, I've watched movies where, hell, some very, very religious actors have played fucking drug addicts. I mean,
Right.
I mean, they've played some shit characters, folks.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, good lord.
Right.
But I mean, like, folks, who have they put over? Everyone thought Jungle Boy was over for how he lost to Kenny. We literally described on the show why he wasn't over.
They put themselves over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what Kenny did with Impact. He crossed a few guys in the wrestling business off his list. He's crossed off everyone except Adam Page. And the only reason he hasn't, and sadly, he's kind of crossed Adam Page off because they kicked him out of the tag team.
Yeah, he did.
I'm sorry, but that amazing promo, it was meh. Because I can't forget the months of just being a blithering drunk and Kenny drinking milk like a fucking loser.
See him. Their ego reminds me of the old song. Stroke me, the stroke, because that's all he did. Him and Don in the back room just stroking.
Here's the problem.
And then they got a
AEW,
painting of it, which again is still burned in my retinas.
Just.
I'd rather see Vince's ass.
It's not just.
Yeah.
It's not just the Young Bucks, unfortunately, though. In that company, it is the CM Punk problem.
Yep.
It is.
Is it me, or has Dynamite, even though they've gotten these stars, after the debuts, the momentum has almost felt like it's stopped?
It is the fucking Cody Rhodes circle that never fucking ends. Like, he has to feud with the same fucking people
3 times
for months on end.
And the only reason he didn't.
And we hear about how that crowd hates WWE booking, and yet Cody is doing it in such a way that. So I heard.
Oh, by the way, before Jesse goes on, all you idiots out there in the world who go, he didn't go through matches with a Go-Go. That's because a Go-Go had to have surgery.
About to say, a Go-Go had to go home. Wake me up before you a Go-Go had to go his ass right back to the British Isles. That's where he had to go. Okay?
Wham!
So now, since he can't a Go-Go in the ring with Cody Rhodes,
he had to do a Go-Go home.
He had a Go-Go home. Now Cody Rhodes is trying to do a Go-Go with Black, who is now stuck in a stupid fucking circle,
spinning like a yo-yo.
For real.
I just
round and round.
And will somebody wake me up
from this
please?
Cody Rhodes circle? I can't stand it anymore.
I just can't.
It's just terrible stuff. So I'm watching the highlight.
And the sad
of
part about it
Rampage.
is, a Go-Go is never going to dance again. That's the last one I got.
Oh my God.
That's the last one I got.
Let's not get into their actual songs now, because I could go on and on.
Oh, come
that
on,
was
Jesse.
beautiful.
It would only take us a careless moment to whisper a few sweet nothings. Okay, all right, we're done. We're done.
So
You're going to keep going. We're going to end up in the bathroom again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're going to end up in a legal battle.
Andrade, by the way, Andrade, stop talking about FUWWE. You asked for your release.
You did.
Okay.
You did.
You got it.
And I know there might be some heat backstage, but first of all, it's not Tessa heat. We all know that.
Right.
Because, by the way, folks, WoW, we got to talk about them in a second. They are off to an awful start,
Yes, they are.
and it's all because of one move. But anyway, no. Look, Charlotte had a tiff. Becky wasn't happy. I'm sure they'll work it out in the back. Not because of friendship, but because at the end of the day, everyone's going to get professional, okay? Because remember, Rick himself said, why would Ashley leave? She's at the top right now. They love her.
Here's the big thing with that really quick, though.
Yeah.
To be fair to her,
Yeah.
she was right.
Yep, I agree.
So, let's do this really quick.
She wanted to put over Bianca.
She wanted to lose the title to Bianca, and said Becky should lose the championship to Sasha, and then they could still do the storyline that they want to do.
It was a simple switch.
And it's a very simple switch.
Which would have been done on television because I think Charlotte looked at what happened with New Day and Street Profits. Although New Day and Street Profits were funny when they did it.
Right.
The only issue I had there, because with those two teams it worked, the only issue I had there was was supposedly it gave another 10th reign to New Day, which it shouldn't have.
Right.
No.
It's just you switching.
But my point was this. They made it funny. Those two teams, it worked. It was never done before, and it should never be done after. It worked. So I was actually kind of on Charlotte's side there for a little bit.
So, the whole tiff about it, I actually was on her side. She's 1,000%
And Andrade,
correct.
it's not like you're doing well in AEW.
And then let's be real, Andrade.
You've put over an FTR more than you put over yourself.
If you had any balls, you would have never allowed Kenny to become mega champion.
No.
You'd have been like, no, I came back to win this title.
Yes.
So if I'm not winning this title, then I'm not showing up to the damn show.
Okay.
I would have told Triple A to fuck themselves.
Because he has all the power down there in Mexico.
He does.
I'd have been like, fuck that. I'm not putting over Kenny Omega.
Do you know where Andrade's balls are?
Apparently in
Ashley's
Charlotte's
purse.
In Charlotte's bag.
Yeah.
They're in Ashley's purse, yeah.
But
folks,
do I need to say something like I said to Tony to Andrade?
just shut the fuck
Go
up.
ahead.
Yeah. Would you
Andrade?
please? Andrade?
Shut the fuck up.
Thank you.
So, but they have a killer match, him and Pac.
Yes.
And I got the chance to watch the match because, by the way, you're right. If you can't find Dynamite at least right away, you find it 2 days later. And apparently Rampage, you just start finding matches like hours after it happens.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Just full matches hours
Yep.
after it happened.
Yep.
Well, I gotta sleep. I got better than you do.
Vince refuses to put out.
To be fair, I watched it this morning.
Okay.
So,
To be fair, Vince doesn't put free match or doesn't allow free matches on YouTube until they're like 3-4 years old.
right.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll do it months later, but
Yeah.
he does it months later.
Yes, exactly.
So, here's the thing. So they have a
Of course,
banger
this started
match.
with the whole Thunder Rosa Britt Baker bullshit, where like not even hours after that lights out match had occurred, they were already putting out the footage of how Tony and Kenny were standing there looking like executives. Kenny was actually an executive role because he was
Yeah.
working in the women's division at the time, and I'm like, this ain't even hours old. And by the way, Dave, this is the one time I actually agree with Dave. Dave didn't give you a 5 because you asked for it. Because
Right.
even he has to somehow pretend he's got integrity left. So that's why he didn't give it to you. If you'd waited a week, he would have given you the 5.
Right,
He said
right.
himself, basically.
Right.
But back to this, yes.
So
Jesse.
they have a great match that kind of culminate this feud.
Yeah.
Which by the way, that was confusing, the fact that they gave FTR the AAA Tag Team Championships and not the AEW Championships, which they also hold.
Well, but Jesse, if they'd given him the AEW championships, it would have devalued the fact that, and again, this goes back to the Elite, it would have devalued the fact that they just had one of the greatest matches against. See. Sadly, this is the way that it's booked. The Bucks have to make the Lucha Brothers look good for at least 3 months, or that loss means nothing. The Bucks have to do it. The Booker has to do it, and the Bucks are in his ear making sure he does it because again, they're the most self-aware douchebags in wrestling.
Yes, they are.
They're more aware than the outsiders were. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall didn't realize what they were doing to WCW. AEW, Bucks, they just don't care.
No.
They know what's happening in AEW. They
Right.
just don't care.
Right.
They're
Right.
keeping the elite in all elite clean. That's it. That's all they're doing. So it's no, Jesse. But before you continue, Jesse, they made Pac a face. Pac is a face now. Go on.
Oh my.
Here's the weird
my
thing, though,
God.
about that with Pac being a face.
He was so good as the bastard. He was one of the best heels in the business.
If you're gonna turn a bad guy face, but you know the bad guy, the tweener part, the bad guy part of his character works, you have to. It's called tweener, where clearly they're still a bad guy, but you cheer for them because you're like, yeah, I like this badass. I want to see him win. He's legitimate. They didn't do that with Pac.
No.
All they basically try to do is, well, Andrade's worse. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So, but to be fair,
You said last week that the losing streak that King Switch went on in the G1 that ultimately led to the King was him, and he said it multiple times on camera. It showed him he had to outthink you as opposed to...
Right.
Because here's the deal. King Switch is a heel in the sense of he knows he's better than you, but he's going to outthink you and he's going to embarrass you. That's what he does.
right.
This is a situation where the heel is actually better than all the baby faces,
Right.
and he's showing you that he is.
Right.
It's one of the few times that the heel being smarter than the face actually works.
Correct.
But that's just because it's Jay White. But again, Jesse, one thing that we lose, especially in American wrestling a lot of the time, is legitimacy. He legitimately can go with anybody in the world. So it works.
Without question. And here's the thing. Which, by the way, which is why Roman Reigns works insanely well.
Oh, yeah.
Because people think he needs the Usos all the time.
He influences hockey, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus Foligno for the Wild started a fight with a flying Superman punch. All you were missing was Michael Cole's call in the background. XL Energy Center, grab that soundbite.
All I'm saying is,
thank you, Marcus Foligno. Oh, by the way,
Jay White and Roman Reigns
for everyone
shows
wondering,
you it works.
Marcus Foligno came back from that Superman punch and he actually scored the game-tying goal.
Yes,
Anyway,
he did.
Anyway, I love you, Marcus.
So here's the thing. So
Love my hockey.
they have this banger match to finish the quote-unquote try to get through at least the first part of this feud.
Yeah.
Because they've been doing a lot of talking for months. And great banger match. Pac gets the win. Clean win. Okay. And one thing I do give people, I'm like, I can't argue with is that I wish WWE did more clean finishes. I do agree with that. But here's the thing. Then Malachi Black comes out.
Yeah.
And apparently this is the friend that Andrade must have bought or something or paid, which is weird because we know you're not stupid. You know their history.
Yep.
So he comes out, he sprays Pac with the mist, and who comes, by the way, walking his old ass down the ring? Leroy, I love Arn Anderson, sir. I adore Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
If I saw Arn Anderson, I would kiss his boots because that's how much he has meant to me as a pro wrestling fan.
And you would still not believe you were worthy enough to do so.
And then when I got up, I would look him in the face and be like, "What you doing walking your old ass down here like pointing a gun? Like what are you doing? What are you doing?" So then that signals Cody to come out.
Yeah.
Who then kind of takes both of them out.
I love how this is the build up to Cody Malachi 3.
Didn't Cody lose anyway? No, I heard Cody won.
Yeah, let me double check. Leroy's looking for something else up. You continue your thing. I'm gonna look.
So you did all this, and it's
Cody won it. When did he do it? No.
That was last night because they had the match last night. I'm pretty sure they had the match last night.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure Cody won, but here's the thing, which is whatever. Why after two? Well, the first one a very decisive victory.
Yeah.
And then he still beat him the second time.
Which by the way,
I gave Cody credit for.
No. It was covered on Roads to the Top. Cody was actually sitting there like they were booing me in my hometown where I was born, and I'm like, yeah, because it was awful.
That's what you got out of that.
Yep.
That's what he got out of that.
Yep.
He's a dumbass.
Yep.
Jim Cornette might be right about him too. Like his own head might be so far up his own ass.
Oh no, Jim is right.
Because I used to think, I'm like, well, one thing, because when this company first started, I'm like, one thing I seem to really enjoy are the Cody moments. Because it feels like Cody still understands, how to do a pro wrestling story.
Yep.
And it did feel like that. He was one of the things that I was like, okay, he seems to understand still how to do this. Like, he hasn't forgotten everything he's been through in the last 10 years. But recently, now that you're telling me he said that on the show, because thank God you're watching it, because I fucking refuse.
Oh, trust me, after Leroy driving through a cornfield listened to Jim's review, and Jim never lies about his reviews because he writes exactly what he says, Leroy wants nothing to do with it either, because Leroy was like, this is worse than even you put it.
I just listen to Jim and Zach and go through them,
like,
and I'm okay.
How is your head? Like, that's what you got out of that? That you got booed? That's what you got out of that.
Not only that, Cody actually it actually cuts to Cody doing the whole interview later. There's the footage, and then there's you sitting on your couch, and he's actually like brokenhearted by it.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
Apparently
his dad
apparently Dusty passed on the wrestling ability to Dustin and couldn't pass anything else on, and Cody was just
Boy, what the hell wrong with you?
Vincent Gato, best thing that ever happened to Cody Rhodes. Sorry I said it.
Oh, especially Vince. People hated the Stardust character, but it showed he could do like
anything.
So it showed so when he went to the indie scene, he was able to build his own resume.
Jesse.
I can't fucking believe that, man. That's the only thing he got out of that.
Jesse, Cody Rhodes won by hitting a Tiger Driver 98, not by hitting the Crossroads.
Whatever. So, as I was going to say...
so many things wrong with that statement.
What I was going to say is now Malachi Black, one of the coolest fucking characters you have.
Somebody that like actually got over to Jim.
Right. Well, because
you say you like Jim there, Tony, but then you fuck with everything he likes.
Well, because as Jim kind of said, he's like, usually I'm half and half on the spooky stuff because he was one of the, the prioriter writers of a lot of Undertaker's early shit. And like he used to say, he found it hard to write, but it was one of those things.
He liked the original Glenn Jacobs door slot, but nothing about that spot was really supernatural. That was just, coming back from being burned.
Right. So it's one of those things where like, because I'm a big fan of the horror shit. So, and I've always said you can make it work in pro wrestling because sometimes
you enjoyed Alexa because for a while there she was actually doing well on her own.
She was. What they did was get rid of a lot of the Fiend stuff and just allowed her to be this creepy character that maybe can come in on a lights out spot.
Do you think the criticism online about her being too childish maybe hurt that?
I think. Well, first of all, so when I'm doing a haunt, I expect a lot of reactions.
You do.
One of the few reactions I don't expect is being called a sexist. So I'm going to make some people uncomfortable. Sometimes it's not about you and your beliefs. Sometimes it's about your entertainment. And if you're not entertained, then go do something else.
Well, but how many times have... Yeah. Well, but Jesse, you've been here for a while now on the show. You've seen me and Leroy... I've said things that pretty much takes Leroy's, basis belief in religion and puts it in the toilet. But that's my opinion. but Leroy doesn't sit there and say to himself, I'm going to change the whole show dynamic.
I forgive you, my child.
That's it. That's the end of the segment. Go on.
He blesses you.
He does.
So here's the thing.
I'll take it.
It's one of those things where, like, he's one of the coolest fucking characters you have, and he is still stuck in this fucking feud. Why? You couldn't have come back to this in a year? You couldn't have built this Cody thing a little longer?
Okay. You know what's funny? The one thing, nowadays the term long-term booking is a joke that everybody uses. The best actual long-term booking was Briscoe versus Lethal. When Briscoe never got his title shot, and after like a year of Jay Lethal running through ROH, all of a sudden Jay Briscoe's back, and it's like, oh shit, that's a real contender for the title. Now, he beat Jay, but by them just not even alluding to it. And by the way, it's not like Jay was off ROH TV.
No.
Jay was just off doing tag shit with Mark.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not like people can sit there and act like the long-term booking thing is such a joke that Alexa made that her own after a while. You stop thinking of, we all knew the Fiend stuff was there because of all the stuff happening with Rotunda.
Right, before and how she even got into all that. Yeah.
But she somehow, especially the promo where she said that she looked into the darkness and embraced it, it literally, yes, it's a bit of a, it's a bit of a side swipe to the fans that you can feel a little mad at Vince about.
Sure.
But it's a way of kind of showing that this is her own thing now.
Right.
I mean, you had to come up with something.
And because... By the way, then I'm guessing WWE released that thing when they're like he became too difficult to work with. And just, like get the fuck out of here.
And can I also point out?
Did not like that.
And can I also point out?
I was very like Bob J-Peck fucking Disney like.
Well, but we all saw that
lawsuit.
Well, but
and
then
everyone was like, dude, she's gonna fucking win because you were clearly wrong. Why are you trying to throw her under the bus?
Yeah. But anyway, no. But first of all, everyone plays dirty tactics. At that point. I mean, that's it. Oh, by the way, you want to know? By the way, you want to know what's really funny? To who of the Elite put over? I also hate to say it. Our buddy Jericho. I think people don't actually realize WWE made these quote-unquote budget cuts. Yeah, I get it. They were making all the money, and people were like, what are you doing? Jesse pointed out they did pay him for a while.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. why did everybody all of a sudden start making too much money? Oh, that's right, because Jericho bragged on a podcast the day I signed with AEW, everyone got a raise. So Chris might have caused part of that financial problem, and he doesn't even realize he did it.
He doesn't.
He don't care.
He's an idiot. He doesn't care.
Oh my God! But back to your point with Alexa.
You know what though? As far as
back to your quote sexist rant.
So yeah, because
that's not actually sexist, but hey, people love to
right. Because here's the thing:
cancel culture. We are officially at 13 cards. Subject change. 13_ on Twitter. Please send us a message.
Because here's the thing: yes,
subject change.
She's wearing the pigtail. She's wearing the short skirt. Okay. Who can? Why are you making so much of that? Like you're thinking way deeper than they are as writers. Like the whole thought of
for once we're actually not mad at the writers.
Right.
We're not, because like I said, they don't need to point out the small details, especially since it's a detail that meant nothing.
It literally means nothing.
The only
she
thing
acted like a child as well. Like the whole thing of the whole evil thing is like, damn, Alexa's been kind of twisted. Like something's deeply wrong.
Yeah,
but that's as deep as that goes.
I'll say this much: we all started to really enjoy the attire that she wore during matches later in that situation.
Yeah.
But sadly, that
it was basically her old school Alexa stuff, but it just had the new designs.
Yeah.
on it.
But sadly, like
nice.
you said, Jesse, that came out of Reddit criticism. That came out of criticism from people who have no idea what the whole story was to begin with. You focused on aesthetics instead of the actual show.
I've always said people who focus on those things are like, I've always said AEW with the black wrestlers. Like I don't believe there is a racist bone in Tony Khan's body.
No.
But I do believe that there are all elite bones in his ass. So unfortunately, there's great talent there that they just won't fucking use.
Why is Dante Martin...
I don't think they're in his ass anymore.
Not as much anymore.
Yeah.
Not as much, but here's the sad part.
And
Tony Khan learned from his dad.
But there's still some tongues in his ear.
Yeah.
And other parts.
Yeah, well.
Maybe his balls. Who cares?
Well, but like we said.
That's why you shouldn't be signing those kind of checks, though.
Yeah, well.
See, it's funny. So people got mad at Eric Bischoff for telling him, like, why don't you actually compete first? And until you do, shut the hell up. Yeah, you got that quote right there.
I got it.
Because here's the thing about...
Well, but Eric also put that video out.
And here's the thing about that,
though. It was smart
though.
for him to do that.
Yeah.
Here's the big thing about that overall, though. Eric's right! There's a reason this podcast is called 83 Weeks. He whooped Vince's ass for 83 straight weeks. The problem was, the moment that those wrestlers saw that they could run all fucking over him, he lost all control, and that was the end of WCW.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. I don't think it'll be the end of AEW, but Tony Khan is about to make... I keep saying he's going to make more enemies in this company by the time it gets better.
Well, but they're already... But Jesse, the problem is that he was already a general with two separate camps of soldiers, because half of them went with the Elite, half of them went with Cody. That's actually been proven.
Right.
Cody's been working with... Because everyone wondered why Cody wasn't working with the Elite anymore. It wasn't because they all just decided to go their separate ways. It wasn't because Cody wanted to do his own thing. It's because they didn't want to work with Cody anymore. Because they all had different ideas on how this worked.
Well, as Tony was saying, hey,
and what pissed me off even more is I'm not done with Cody because of what he's doing. He already said in 5 years he wants to go be a politician. Start now.
I was about to say,
start now.
Go run now.
There you go.
If you go run now, we don't have to see your stupid ass.
Forget you. If you go now, Brandy goes with you. Anyway,
you know what? Perfect.
There you go.
Then you guys can be the first interracial couple to run for an office.
Yeah.
Please, Leroy, go ahead.
Well, you talk about more about
so he could talk a fucking terrible promo on that too.
The Bischoff's quote where I'm telling Tony Khan.
It wouldn't be a promo.
Tony,
It'd be a political statement. But anyway.
Shut the fuck up. Still shut the fuck up. And Bischoff said that pretty much to him too.
Yeah.
Shut up and wrestle, dude. And it's coming from him. And as he said, the difference between him and what Tony said is, I actually was competing head-to-head with Vince. You're not.
I was actually beating Vince for a good portion of the late 90s.
So it's like...
Killing Vince.
As he's telling him, wrestle. Do that first, and then try to compete with him.
Right.
Booker T.
What I
right
loved...
afterwards said
before
the same thing.
Not to interrupt you, but it's funny. Tony Khan was actually asked about that, and he was actually a bit heartbroken that Eric would say that. I'm like, what are you heartbroken about? He was right. Doesn't matter if the guy's been there for you and been on your side.
I was about to say he's been a consultant for you, but because he is like me. He said it, and he said it on his show weeks and weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't want AEW to fail.
No.
Because
Neither do we. Number one, neither do we.
Hell, the wrestlers in WWE don't want it to fail because they believe, like we believe, listen, all raising tides rises all ships.
Yes.
So if you can't actually start competing with them,
But see, that's the
they're
problem.
going to even have to be better.
But see, that's the problem, Jesse. Really, the only real, and again, not to interrupt your quoting there, Leroy, but it's a nice segue into what I'm about to say. Once again, when you laid down that challenge, which ended up being a just loss, a straight, you got your ass
all they
kicked.
could focus on was a small little demo thing that maybe they won. That
It was a .01.
Yeah. Like it meant nothing.
And I'm sorry, folks. Folks, I'm sorry.
They didn't.
No. Hold on.
They didn't win that demo.
No, they did. It's been confirmed they won the demo.
It's confirmed they won the demo by what, 10,000 or some shit like that.
It was like 50.
Yeah,
It was barely 50.
They like tied on the percentage.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. But anyway, no, Leroy.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, folks, I'm gonna get this out of the way. If it's Ruby Soho directly up against Roman Reigns, Destination Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, Branson. I'm changing the song. I love the song. Great album. Jesse and I, we grew up on that fucking album. It's one of the greatest albums of that era. But
I agree.
Just folks, come on, really?
Acknowledge.
If it's on at the exact same fucking time, it's Destination Tribal Chief.
I want them to have some balls. Just go against the last hour of SmackDown and see how you do. Like,
No.
literally.
Better yet. Do your research, figure out if Roman Reigns is the main event, and fucking put Ruby Soho in something with the bunny directly against Roman again, and tell me if it works.
I bet you'll be like, wow, that was an utter failure. No shit!
Asshole.
Here, you get some good quotes.
The guy is the best, one of the best-selling fucking wrestlers since Stone Cold and The Rock, and he's the heel.
Oh, by the way, can we also point something out? It's actually come out recently that Roman Reigns, who by the way has been a top guy basically since day one he walked in, family name, Shield, you name it. The guy sat in the back of an arena after 99% of everybody else was in a car, a bus, whatever, to the next town, and he watched 205 Live.
Yes, he did.
The guys on 205 Live were watching a locker room juggernaut. Watch that. This is like The Rock watching Hurricane before they worked together.
So here's the thing. So the quote came out that he was one of the very few guys. Him, every now and then Cesaro, and then long time ago Jack Swagger, who of course is not there anymore.
Yeah.
And what they would do is, because those guys were like, we want to get more eyeballs on this.
I don't think people realize the ride-along that was solely 205 Live, those guys had left that arena 2 hours after the rest of the wrestlers had.
Yeah.
That wasn't everybody leaving the same.
No.
It's like, no, dude.
They always left later because that show was filmed right after SmackDown.
Yeah.
So, and Roman, because they'd be like, hey, can you watch our matches? Let us know what different things we can do to make sure the crowd stays engaged.
And he did it.
And he did it. Every single, he would do it. And like I used to tell people when it was on the WWE Network, I'm like, seriously, guys, give 205 Live
and
your
you want to know
time.
the funny thing is? Roman's quotes were actually not quotes you would expect from a top guy. They were actually like, well, here's the deal, guys. I don't want you to stop doing what makes you special, which is the crazy high-flying stuff. But let certain things register. Wow, is that funny that the best thing going in all of professional. And Jesse, you love yourself some G1. It was a good G1. Sad ending to it, obviously. We'll get to that in a little bit. But, Jesse, come on. We love Okada. He ain't Roman right now. He's not.
Here's the problem, though. Okada's going to have to become Roman because even Okada's trying to now save their main event scene because Okada is already shit on the world title shit.
Well, he knew it.
And he already brought back the old title. So
God.
he already shit on it. He's like, why would I go after that ugly-ass title?
So the Crown title is version 5 officially? That's the
so
fifth
he brought back version 4, the beautiful big gold belt.
Oh, that thing was
so
that thing's gorgeous. charges.
He's already brought it
Right.
back. So
But-
they're thinking the story is they're going to do a triple threat
Yeah.
with him, Ospreay, and Takagi. Oh, my God. We're going to be so fucking tired watching Wrestle Kingdom. Holy shit.
We got to be careful because it'll be very late in my apartment complex.
I
but
know.
oh
I know.
well.
But I'm just saying, we're just going to be tired because
Oh,
of how
God.
early that's going to come on and how long it's going to go.
Yes. But anyway, back to Roman.
But back to Roman. It's one of those things like
You had to watch 205 Live to get it.
because I watched 205 and I used to say like, and actually this was actually before they switched over because I was on you guys' show before it fully switched over. I'm like, give it your eyeballs. It is 100% worth watching. It is so good.
Sadly, so was NXT on USA better than Dynamite. But again,
I always said it was consistently the best. By the way, once again, going to Roman Reigns being a fucking leader. Apparently, often, especially during COVID, he was asked to just come in and watch the NXT matches and kind of give some of the guys pointers and the gals pointers. Did it no fucking problem.
Yeah, he
not without even getting paid to do it.
nope.
Like the dude is and we wonder why he's the best thing in wrestling right now. Like it's not hard to see why when you hear all of this.
And
stuff.
Jesse's New Japan all day. But like I said, Jesse can't even put up Jay White's best thing right now.
No.
Roman is the best thing in wrestling.
Roman is the best thing in professional wrestling.
He is the most consistent thing in wrestling. He is the most over thing in wrestling.
By the
way, you were talking about G1, all those people wearing Acknowledge Me shirts. How many Roman Reigns Acknowledge Me shirts were down at Nerd and Con? There were actually a few kids wearing Acknowledge Me shirts.
There was, yeah.
I'm not shocked. I'm not like they said he's doing Rock and Stone Cold numbers from back in 2005. I'm like, that's fucking insane.
Do people realize
when
in
they were on their
2005
way out the company and that's the numbers he's doing? That's
Yeah.
insane.
Do people realize how much volume they were doing?
That's
at that
that's
point?
insane number, and he's a heel.
Yep.
Like, listen, man, I feel for Tony Khan because he thought he would be getting into the wrestling business with guys that he kind of considered friends and guys he respected, and now I think he started to realize in this year, fuck, for this to really really work, I'm gonna need to be boss man about this shit, because these guys can't fucking get it together.
And then he decides to just talk, and now we'll get to Leroy with Booker T's comments because they were pretty poignant myself.
Well,
himself.
To end what Eric told him.
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
Eric and Tony kind of pissed on him.
By the
for this.
way, Eric's podcast done from a very nice little office out there in Wyoming.
Yeah, he moved out there apparently like 60. He said it's his dream home because there's no one around.
I understand that.
Well, that's why you moved to Montana or Wyoming.
Right.
It's
There's
so
no one fucking around.
so your neighbors are technically 6 miles down the road by horseback. by the way.
Right.
But he's trying to tell Tony, and it's good advice. He goes, in '96, he was kicking WWE's ass every week in a real head-to-head competition.
8 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern,
Not a
5 o'clock on the West
cosplay
Coast.
Competition.
And
Right.
that and you
Boom.
know we need to analyze that for a second because that term's been thrown around a lot, mostly by Jim Cornette, that it's cosplay wrestling. I don't think people actually understand. Jim is not referring to their all dressing like wrestlers pretending to be characters. The overall show is a dress up of what WWE's been trying to do for years, and it's done very poorly. Because here's the deal. Nobody in that company takes it seriously, and the guys that you finally brought in, they're doing their own shit, except one's doing it well, and we'll get to that here in about 10 seconds, and one's doing it piss poor. But anyway, no. The cosplay thing is actually legit, and I don't think anybody wants to admit it.
Well, and that's just because I heard him say it, and I didn't have a thought on it because I didn't understand what he meant by that.
Yeah.
Because I used to go to conventions all the time.
Yeah.
And I know what cosplayers are.
Yeah.
But I guess I kind of get what he means now.
Yeah.
Because when I heard him say it, I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, they're trying to be WWE stars. They're not. Like,
No, they're trying.
I'm a little confused on what that means.
No, they're trying to. Overall, they're trying to be what ECW was, because ECW will always appeal to the indie scene, because that's what they were.
And a younger crowd.
Yeah.
To give Paul a lot of credit, he's
Yeah.
always found a way to connect
Yeah,
with a younger
but
crowd.
no, they're trying to be a bad version of ECW combined with, sadly, the bad late era WCW, not the good era of WCW. So, but no, it's just Jesse. If you look at the way that Tony's booking, it's clear that Tony was never a WWF fan. It's clear that he was a WCW guy,
Right?
Because every story he does looks like something they did in WCW. It's honestly mind-boggling to me when I see a segment and I'm like, that seems familiar. And then I find a WCW segment from like 97 or 98. Well, okay, not that era. Like probably late or early 2000, where I'm like, it's straight up almost word for word. It's incredible.
I'm about to say one thing. If you're booking your company, I would never, ever take anything from WCW 2000. Ever.
They said he's getting comments from two.
And the Ted Turner bullshit was like, dude, Ted wasn't the one running the company.
No.
Eric was.
Yeah.
Ted Turner didn't know shit about wrestling. Ted Turner just liked wrestling.
And the TBS executives, who, by the way, were right that they were going down the toilet, the moment they couldn't reach Vince on numbers, they pulled the fucking plug.
Well, not only that, but folks, as
let that be a fucking future warning as Dynamite is going to TBS.
Can I also point something out? To quote Jim Cornette, to make sure Jim gets to make sure that Jim gets credit for this statement.
Yeah.
When WCW lost $8 million under the Turner umbrella,
Right.
that's pocket change to these
Oh,
executives.
nothing.
When you lost $60 million,
That's huge.
all right,
We got to consider.
we gotta
consider some stuff before we pull the plug.
We got to talk about this. But anyway, also I think even Eric has admitted years past, even though he tried to buy WCW from Ted, I think the momentum had already been so far gone that he knew he wasn't going to compete with Vince. And honestly, right now, everyone wants to look at me and say, oh, they've caught Vince in the end of his ability to know what he's doing, blah blah blah. That's why they're beating him, folks. You beat NXT. No one's ever actually acknowledged you haven't even beat Raw.
Right.
And Raw's getting better because they now have a better roster.
I'm about to say Raw every now and then gets better. So here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing when it comes to is this a character? I don't know. And to be honest, I don't care. I just want him to shut up and fix this goddamn company.
Hold on. Leroy, over to you.
Yeah, Tony Khan, shut the fuck up.
Thank you. All right. But now we get to the other issue.
Fix your company, man.
Leroy,
Fix it.
not to move away from the comments, but to move to the next issue, Jesse, is it almost time to have somebody pull the plug on the current CM Punk experiment?
Woo!
Phil Brooks came in and said, I want to work with young talent. Bro, I didn't think that meant you were going to do that every single week and start working with lesser and lesser and lesser talent each week.
I mean, he's down to Bobby Fish now.
Nothing against Bobby, but Bobby's also older than dirt.
Bobby's older than him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not young
Bobby's
talent.
just a genetic freak.
Yeah.
I love Bobby Fish, but what was this? Why? Why did CM Punk have to make a save? Just to get him on Dynamite?
You can call WWE poison if you would like.
You get.
All I'm saying is because he's proven it. Hell, Aaron has had to say it recently.
Yeah.
And he's sometimes been so harsh against Vince.
Yeah.
At least he would have did it better.
Yeah.
He would have paid you more, and you would have did better.
Well, not
worked
only
less
that,
dates.
but he would have done it with a star.
Right.
With a guy who hasn't been injured for most of his
Right.
time. People forget the UE. The only reason why Adam Cole, baby, won the NXT Tag Team Championship was because Bobby Fish had to go home with another injury.
Right.
He would have never been a tag team champion in the UE. They would have never had to freebird that if Bobby didn't constantly get hurt.
Right. So now at CM Punk, you have a CM Punk problem because he only came out to run out during the segment.
Yeah.
They had chanted his name all fucking night.
Yep.
This is what happens. So while you get those fans, you're like, man, I'm happy CM Punk's back. I love AEW for that.
Which was us. Jesse, his debut could not have gone better.
Here's what I say. Maybe you felt that way. I've always been half and half on CM Punk.
Well,
I've
but you
always been half and half on CM Punk.
But to be fair, I became half and half when he left the way that he did. Because me personally, I don't agree with it. I don't know what he was going through, but I don't agree.
I was half and half during his run.
You were.
Because when he was world champion, I was one of the few people on the early internet days who was like, listen, Vince is giving this asshole a lot of fucking leeway.
Yeah.
and his name is not Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
By the way, the rumors that Paul Levesque will go to AEW. Why are we? Who the hell thought that up?
so I'm glad you put it out there.
Yeah.
What we're going to do, Leroy, is we're going to toss that in your trash. For those who can hear it, that's the trash bin. That's where that's going. That's not happening.
That's
He's going to fucking run the company at some point, probably really soon. Why would he go to AEW?
well, not only that, but it's like Triple H might be getting a slight slap on the wrist for NXT, but I think. But again, that was an overreaction to bringing in Danielson, Cole, and Punk.
Right.
Now he's not doing anything because of health.
Right.
He should be home with his 3 beautiful
Which
girls.
is what he's doing.
Yes, but folks, AEW proved they hot-shotted everything, and now they're all there, and now what do? Oh, wait, hold on. You're Tony Khan. You do the 3 worst jobs you can think of by shitting on Brian Danielson, shitting on him by giving him Minoru Suzuki on YouTube. Jesse, you've come around to that being a dumb decision.
That was dumb.
You really have. You've looked back at. Have you seen the match finally?
Yeah, great match.
But after you saw the match, you were like, "Why was this on free?"
I really was like, wait a minute, why would you give this away on fucking YouTube? This is a pay-per-view match that sells dollars. That moves merch. What are you doing? Why are you doing this on YouTube?
I still say Minoru legitimately knocked his ass out with that one forearm.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Daniels should have had that match stopped.
Probably, yeah.
But it's AEW. Well, I don't want it to happen, but I fear one of them is going to die in that ring.
Yeah.
Because there is no common sense of, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, people will boo.
The refs are not only buried by the performers, they're buried by the back. They have no power.
No.
They're there to count 3.
Right.
Seriously, they might as well just do bad ECW rules all night, every night, because the
Right.
refs can't do shit.
Right.
The refs are literally told, you're paid to stand out here. There was a spot, Leroy, at NerdinCon, you remember, I forgot. I think it was during the Coda match, where Coda did something illegal, or maybe it was Joey. No, we'll talk about the match overall, but Joey did something where he was like raking. I think it was Santana's eyes, and he turns around to the ref. The ref was counting 5, and then he turns around to the ref and goes, "All I did was rake his eye." The ref goes, "That's still illegal, Jet."
Yep.
We'll get to that in a second, but no. You talked about the Phil Brooks problem, but Jesse, it's not. A, you're right about the fans. B, oh my God, they've created their own second problem. It's incredible.
Yeah.
He wrestles every Friday, and we had people down at the show that were telling us, that's his night, and we want to say, okay, nothing
That's
against
fine.
the people that we know and we want them on the show that we're happy about
yeah.
CM Punk. Guys, I don't know if you were there during that run in WWE. Part of what made him special was that he didn't wrestle every night, and he was out there to cut a promo most of the time, and literally Vince made you pay for a match.
Right.
The problem is that Jim, and once again, Jim Cornette is only speaking from, to carry the 40-some years in the wrestling business.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Working for WCW, he worked with ECW, WCW, Jim Herd, WCW, Dusty Rhodes, NWA, AWA.
Worked for Vince for years.
Vince, Mid-South.
Impact.
Didn't he work for Vince's father, too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Impact. Every major national territory that's existed in America since the Great Depression, basically. But anyway, I digress on Jim's resume.
Right.
Jim said it. Fans will always eventually think the same way. You are overusing CM Punk because he's gone from Darby Allin, great first idea. Powerhouse Hobbs, not bad.
Not bad.
It was one of Willie's best matches. Daniel Garcia, it only worked because 2.0 was there and it was a heel. Then you put him against Matt Sydal, and no one knows why. No one knows why.
Because
everyone knew how it was going to end.
Oh, yeah.
What was the and Jesse? You got 20 minutes of free television. CM Punk, I agree, but not Matt Sydal.
No.
Matt's not the guy who should be going 20 minutes commercial free.
Here's the thing. Here's the biggest
And by the
thing.
way, working with young guys, Matt Sydal's been around the circuit.
Matt Sydal's nobody's young boy. Let's get that out the way.
Yeah.
Him nor his brother.
No.
They're both older than me. These are nobody's young boys.
And by the way, here at 13 Cards, we love the Sydals. We do.
Oh, yeah.
no,
love
don't
the
get it twisted.
Sydal boys.
Love the Sydal boys.
Yes, we'd love to talk to them sometime.
They are not spring chickens.
But
And-
well, not to mention the fact, even Matt's probably like, dude, my payoff is about to be fucking huge because I'm commercial free for 20 minutes with CM Punk. And even he was probably like, yeah, I'm probably not the guy for this. But I ain't saying no to the paycheck.
Here's the thing, man. Like you said, it started off good with Darby. Perfect guy to start off with, to be honest.
Well, surprisingly, Darby had actually just come off a momentous victory.
Right.
Darby had momentum,
Right.
oddly enough,
Um,
in AEW.
you had Will Hobbs, and really, Will Hobbs was a substitute because he wanted Ricky Starks.
Right.
But they have to be careful with Ricky. While
Yeah.
he can wrestle, then that is still a worry for them.
Yes.
Um,
Over a move that Ricky didn't need to do.
right.
Another the fact that Lance Archer was in the company and saw that and still attempted what he did on a random ass Saturday night, never understand it. I love you, Lance. I would love to talk to the Murder Hawk. Like, seriously, that's an interview that, like me personally, that's an interview that I would love to get over a bunch of like actual maybe bigger stars.
Because the guy just has knowledge upon
Yeah.
knowledge. But
that was a bad move.
that was a bad move. So you get Will Hobbs because you had to substitute for Ricky Starks,
and nobody's and
no one complains about
well,
that.
not only
That's
that,
a good
but
move.
not only that, of the other three options, no one's paying for Hook right now.
Hook is a weird.
People like him, and we don't know why.
Yeah.
He's got fans, and we don't know why.
Like, people really want to see him wrestle, and it's just like, guys, I'm pretty sure he's still not ready. But when he gets in there, he'll probably get a big win over somebody.
Yep.
And that's fine. That's
Yeah.
the whole reason Taz signed, and
Yeah.
that's smart. Just like you see with Dominic and WWE. That's smart. These guys have legacy. That's very
Dominic
smart.
has actually proven to be fantastic.
Listen, from his first match to where he is now, like we said, his first match in front of fans, I'm like, damn, he's so damn good now. And he's only going to get better. He's only going to get better.
Yep.
So I would like to see a little more muscle build on him at some point,
Well, yeah.
though. But
Well,
anyway,
that might happen.
see, now I sound like Vince, but that's just because, like, his height.
Yeah.
I'm always just like, he feels a little thin for his height.
Agreed.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
But
Which is weird because Eddie had such a physique.
I'm about to say
Yeah.
Eddie was cut, like just jacked, legs jacked, like
Dominic doesn't take after his poppy. Who knows?
not that poppy anyway.
No.
So here's the thing, with CM Punk, now you've run into the issue of who's he actually feuding with any fucking more? Bobby Fish? What a step down from the first two guys.
Well, yeah,
and because you got Malachi Black stuck in this whirlpool. Oh, what if you would have did that feud instead? That would have made more sense to a lot of people, and that's a pay-per-view like match you can build for your next big pay-per-view coming up. It's these decisions that when they make these decisions, I go, how are you actually competing with WWE when you're doing Raw booking for your main show? It's
that makes no sense. I like he needs to listen to the advice he's getting from Eric,
Right.
and the advice he's getting from Booker, because they were there in WCW when things went shit. Yeah, Triple H,
Mhm.
Paul Levesque will be all elite when he pulls a Vince McMahon and buys the Sons of Bitches.
right. When he buys a company,
When
then
he
he'll be
buys
all
a
elite.
company like Vince, yeah, then he's fucking all elite because y'all are going to be bankrupt. You're all going to be fired because he ain't going to use all of you.
like I said before, when it comes to them, because here, I want to point out some good things they're doing.
Yeah, okay.
One of the best original
Yeah, we'd
stars.
like to do that sometime.
One of the best original stars they built in the women's division is Tayara Conti. She's going to go against Britt Baker. There have been rumors. This is actually going to be the first surprise they throw at us because they're going to put the belt on Tayana.
Not that I hate that Ty's getting this shot.
Well, she deserves it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. She deserves it over her body of work. I'm just bugged that the reason she's getting it, the only thing they've done in terms of their interaction was a bad belt spot.
I didn't see it. Thank God I didn't see it. Because to be honest, I like Ty.
It wasn't actually like bad, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
But it's also like it's bad because that's the interaction that creates a world title match.
I kind of always
In AEW.
I kind of always thought
Well,
like
in my opinion, based on how much heat this is getting backstage, keep Ty Conti away from this TBS title, please.
Right.
Keep her away from that shit.
Right. So it's one of those things. One of the best things that happened to her was getting released from NXT
I agree.
because it seemed to have humbled her
Yes.
in a way. Because apparently the stories were that backstage at NXT, sometimes she was a nightmare because she was so talented and they were so high on her.
Yeah.
That when they released her, it kind of, I mean, she said she cried and all that, but I think really what that is sometimes as a person is you're like, fuck, I just lost my dream job. What happens to me now? And
You can't just stop wrestling because sadly it's the only thing you have right now.
Right. And so one of the smart things when she got to AEW was Cody told her, I'm gonna focus on what you can do in the ring, and we'll try to figure out the character as we go.
Yeah.
Because what and by the way, when she spoke about this in an interview, I'm like, this was early on in their days. I was like, why isn't Cody just running this? He apparently has his father's and Vince, a little bit of Vince's mentality.
Yeah.
He could probably make this work.
Yeah.
Because he told her, he's like,
He just can't make his own shit work without a
Right,
script.
Right. So, even with a script.
He's got baby brain right now, and that's out.
So here's the thing. So understanding, like, I don't know what her character is, but
if he's got baby brain, he can't wait to see Hangman lose to Kenny Omega and make that worthless.
Please,
if he loses to Kenny Omega,
I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying that if he does,
he loses to Kenny Omega, I'm done with the main event scene because it just further establishes they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, no, it further establishes this became a legit company. Now it's a recognized world title, and Kenny wanted another recognized world. Kenny is making up for what Gato didn't give him, and we admit Gato screwed that up.
Yeah,
but he is trying to stick it to Gato. He is.
Well, you're failing, son.
Yeah. Miserably.
New Japan is still doing
miserably.
quite well, my friend.
But back to Ty.
So back to Ty. So the smartest thing they did on the Dark show was you got to see her wrestle a lot.
Yeah.
And that's how you fell in love with her as just because you're like, damn, she's really talented. She's really good. And then at first it kind of developed the character of like, she is from her culture. And sometimes that's how they start a lot. And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's easy as a booker to be like, well, why don't we work with your own personal culture first, and then we'll build from there. Then she kind of started the little bit of a tag team friendship with Anna Jay before Anna Jay ended up in the Dark Order.
Yeah.
And then when Anna Jay ended up in the Dark Order, she started to get the chance to work with, God rest his soul, Brody Lee, who is like, you know what, you have such a bubbly fucking personality.
Yeah.
That should be your character. The fact that you can flip that switch and fight like you can, that should be your character. And she listened to him, and it has worked.
Oddly enough, an actually good, smart transition by using what the person already had.
By the way,
yeah,
funny how that works.
By the way, and
Yeah,
like I
I know.
said, God rest his soul. Once again, a failure upon WWE. I don't know how you let that guy out of your building. No matter if you didn't know what to do with him as a wrestler, as a mind,
I agree.
him and Bray are great as minds. Anyway, and she actually has established herself as one of the best stars outside of Britt Baker, who also established herself. This feud, now it goes to what you just said. This feud makes no fucking sense. Now, she deserves a championship match.
But she deserves a championship program.
Because she,
Yeah.
because if records matter, all she has done is beat some of the best women in the company. That's all she's done, including recently Thunder Rosa. So that's all she's done is win. And
By
win
the way,
cleanly.
happy post anniversary to Thunder Rosa being in wrestling. It's
Yeah.
what a talent. It was like about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
She got the
yeah, I think so.
And congratulations to. By the way, she posted a photo with her on the beach, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. She's 32. I should go holler." Anyway, but hell of a talent,
I concur.
and also had one of the
goes right to his phone and check her Instagram.
one of the best matches that I've seen in GCW was actually with her. The woman can do it all. So
Congratulations to the Briscoes, by the way.
yes, new GCW tag team champions. Listen, if you ask me who the best tag teams in the world are, it's going to be hard for me not to start with the New Day, but to go down. Listen, the brothers are top 5 of all time in the world. They just started me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you put Ty in this thing, and it makes no fucking sense how you're building it. Which, by the way, Britt Baker, welcome to Sheeta's world.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like welcome to Sheeta's world. Sheeta, who carried this company through uncertain times.
We're just gonna get it out of the way. The women's PWI top 10 came out, and before we get
I got it.
No,
I got it right here.
No, hold on. We're not gonna get to it yet. Is what I'm
Okay.
saying. But to put out her point, Jean did say no Hikaru, and I'm like, sadly, she didn't do anything.
When she wasn't wrestling, they had her in a fucking crowd.
She was too well. No, this thing. A, she was on Dark too much, and B, when she was on national television, she was, and I quote, a paid fan. Moving on.
Anyway, so yeah, Gene, I agree. I like outside of Bailey and Asuka, Hikaru Shida in 2020 was one of the most important women, but you wouldn't know that if you watched their show every fucking
So
week.
I actually don't blame PWI
Right.
for not putting her in the top 10 because what was she doing? Oh, right, she was a paid fan.
I think she was in the top 20 of the list.
I think she was, yeah, but
Yeah. Anyway, so here's the thing. Just by the way, deeply underused. So Britt Baker, welcome to Hikaru Shida's world. Your company is worse than WWE at booking women. Let's just put that out there. Like the 4 horsewomen are almost a CM Punk unto their own thing.
yes.
But,
yes.
like they really are. But but really, Vince will try to find a way to build other women. Now he's not always consistent about it, but he will try to do it.
Yeah.
So Ty deserves this, and if Ty wins, Britt, I bet you're gonna start to regret that you and your well, apparently not even future husband, but your boyfriend didn't just both go to WWE, because at least there you'll shine for 5 months and then you'll be on the undercard. You'll shine for another 5. Like it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But at least you get some shine at some point.
But at the same time, Jesse, we've learned from the days of Rock and Stone Cold, the elite, true meaning of that word, elite, 0.000% won. That's who stay in that title picture.
Right.
It doesn't happen to everyone. But if you can take that 5 months and establish that someday Vince will give you another 5 months,
right,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You still make money off that.
And, I mean, listen, I know people are like, man, I want Ricochet to leave. The reason I think Ricochet doesn't leave is because, yeah, he got squashed by Brock, but he was like, man, I was at that pinnacle now twice.
He faced Brock at Crown Jewel, wasn't it?
I think he's correct in thinking, and especially now that he's on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to probably at least give me some shine at some point. So, I work less dates. I'm getting paid all this money, and every now and then I get this shine.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it, okay. And I'll get to probably wrestle for another 20 years. Cool. Like, that's a winning, like, I know some people are like, well, I want my shine now because I'm not going to try to wrestle till I'm 30, quote, quote, Darby Allin. Well, that's a terrible fucking mindset because I don't know what you plan on doing after wrestling, but you're not going to be as popular as you are right now. Yeah. And Britt, I hate to say it, you and Adam should have just went to WWE. In his case, stayed. In your case, went. Because I think the rumors about him being told to cut his hair are bullshit.
No.
I have a hard time believing, like he said, he had that great of a meeting and he just decided to go work with his friends.
I agree that maybe they were thinking about changing the name, and he said it himself, that's what has made me me.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. I feel like it really wouldn't... Well, first of all, they would have asked you to come up with a promo that would have made it legit.
Yeah.
And if you weren't into it, they would have seen it. And number two, after a while, I think people would have just kept chanting for Cole, and they would have changed it back anyway.
I was about to say...
The fans were going to dictate that anyway.
I was about to say, WWE, the fans dictate that because they change their names all the time.
Yeah.
How many times has Mustafa had his fucking first name removed and then brought back? Because people are like...
a couple times.
Because people are like, dude, why do you keep taking his fucking first name away from him? And then they just give it right back.
To be fair...
Vince is very weird about that shit.
To be fair, when they took away Langston, when they took away Antonio from Cesaro, those weren't really... They weren't established.
And they weren't important.
No, not at all.
Like, it wasn't important that they had those names.
Yeah.
Big E has worked for like 7-8 years. Cesaro has worked for 7-8 years. People forget.
I actually feel like Cesaro might be one of those people that actually looks at AEW and says, "No, I actually won't go because there's no one to work with because I'm just better than all of you." He might actually think
Well,
that.
to be honest, when he wrestled a lot of them on the industry, he was already better than all of them. So yeah, why would he go?
Yeah.
He has no reason to.
Darren would say that. He worked with them.
Sure. And here's the thing, like, there's also no reason for Cesaro to go. Because at some point he'll be back in the main event scene with Roman Reigns. Like I told people, like, yeah, it sucks. It kind of got a little bit of like undercard after being in the main event.
Yeah.
But I think I'm like, a big part of me believes that they always knew they wanted to do the Brock thing.
Yeah.
Because they love to do the Brock thing. Because to be fair, if there's one guy that is an attraction, it is Brock fucking Lesnar.
But okay, back to your women's title situation.
So with the women's title, though, speaking of attraction, is the fact that, like, you're gonna if you switch the title, you've done Britt no service. She's done all the service to herself. Like, you haven't helped her, you haven't built her for shit, and it's a mess. By the way, not just Ty Conti, who's built herself. My girl Swole still hasn't gotten her fucking title match. Has been number one contender on 3 occasions now. Has still not gotten her titles match. But like I said, to give the women credit, it's been one of the better things when they get their shine.
And speaking of which, now we're going to go to the last topic we have for AEW. Jesse, the future of AEW looks bright to a lot of, quotes, Skip Bayless blind witnesses, although that's a different situation for another show. Jesse,
Skip Bayless blind witnesses, is that what he said?
That's what he did say.
He calls LeBron James fans blind witnesses because they like to call him the greatest, which, again, he has more of an argument than people think. Different show. Anyway, the AEW 4 pillars. Sadly, now it's 3 on this show because one of them is Darby Allin.
He won't be around long, apparently.
So the other 3 are, and by the way, these are actually smart ones, but Tony's an idiot. The other 3, Sammy Guevara, mostly getting himself over in underneath stuff that no one's writing but him.
Right.
Jungle Boy, who cares at this point? He's been buried 3 times already. And MJF, who probably won't be there in a couple of years unless you pay him what he asks. So this is already blown up in their face. And folks, we're about to map out why. MJF recently said, Jesse, you were, I believe, following the interview in which he said that if I don't get what I paid, what I feel like I am, because his contract is up in about a year or 2.
A year and a half.
24.
Yeah.
No, not his age. When his
No.
contract's
No,
up.
that's when
2024. Yeah.
2024.
Like,
Okay,
I think,
all right.
like,
and he'll only be 26.
right.
And he has actually stated, outside of kayfabe, which is rare for him, I'd be stupid not to go if I'm not going to get paid what I want here. Because here's the deal.
Well, his big thing was, I'd be stupid not to go if I don't go consider the goddamn offer.
Here's the thing, though. MJF has never been part of this indie club.
No.
He's never felt like and in real life, I feel like he's never felt like he fit in with these guys.
No.
Because in MLW was kind of outside there because MLW guys have always felt like we are MLW because that.
Well, those guys always just felt legitimate because they just came from companies that did legitimate shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But my point is this, folks. This guy is not loyal to you. He's loyal to himself, which is not a problem when you're an independent. No one's mad at him for that.
Right.
The freaking boys in the locker room at AEW could think that, but you think Maxwell Jacob Friedman's going to give a shit? I'm not talking
no.
MJF. I'm talking Maxwell Friedman ain't going to care as long as Vince is paying him the money that he feels like he wants.
if Vince tosses you a fucking 7-figure salary, you're going.
Yes.
Because that means Vince is going to use you because he's paying you 7 figures.
And then he's going to fight Roman, which he said, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
Because just to get out of the way, we probably should have started with it. Darby, he ain't going to be around 3 years. He already said he won.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I cannot believe.
You found that interview after a while, right?
Yeah. I cannot believe no one has gone to him and gone,
What the fuck?
what the fuck are you talking about? Like, dude, did you not... Like, I hope you understand, whatever you might want to do in your 30s ain't going to make you as much money and get you as much popularity. And maybe he doesn't care about that, and
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
fine.
Yeah.
But, like, Like, you are one of the coolest things in a profession that wants fresh faces. And you're just openly like, yeah, nah, I'm going to be done.
And you're
by
only 28.
30. I'm going to be done by 30. Like, what? It's unbelievable. But
Moving
go
on.
ahead.
Now on to Jungle Boy. I'm sorry. No one's given a shit about Jungle Boy since he lost to Kenny. No one's cared. Give me one reason why I should care about Jungle Boy other than the fact that his father has tragically passed away, which they're still trading on, by the way. They are.
Yeah.
And the fact that JR can't get his name right because he gives him 4 different names every match. By the way, our best condolences to JR with the skin cancer
Hopefully
situation.
everything goes good with that.
Everything, all the best to him,
Oh, yeah.
clearly. But no, Jungle Boy is not being told, we like you, here's someone to work with. He's clearly just out there as one of the boys when it's like, no, that's a talent you need to actually nurture. They're not nurturing what the natural charisma. Because I said it, he looks like a 12-year vet in ring. He just can't talk. So give him someone that can talk.
You know, here's the worst thing when it comes to them and him is that I got a feeling Luchasaurus ain't going to want to stay for much longer. Because what the fuck is he doing there?
Go to WWE, take the mask off.
You don't even have to go to WWE.
They'll give you a 3-year run.
If you want to keep the match, just go to Impact.
Yeah,
At least they'll know how to treat you.
That's
and
true.
Do you think he won't follow his friend there? Listen, the short guy, I'm not saying his name because fuck him and his brother.
Dwarf Dong Sucker.
But the short guy apparently is a much better singer than he is a pro wrestler. That's cool. Do that. Because you're fucking awful in the ring. I hate watching you.
Your brother is better, but the bar's not high
The
there.
The bar is lower than your height. Let's just say that. We all trip over that bar, okay?
That's
Leroy,
true. Yeah.
one of the greatest lines in the history of our show
Yes.
will always be me going, oh, by the way, Jesse, the Good Brothers were fought off by Dwarf Dong Sucker, and Jesse just pauses and goes, why are they clowns in AEW?
Because it's true. I'm like, wait, what? Why are these guys clowns? This is one of the best. Anyway,
Back to this.
so Jungle Boy, you've blown it because his own partner might not want to stay. His contract is up next year, I believe.
Yeah.
Unless he's signed an extension that I haven't read about yet, his shit's up next year.
Yeah.
Why will Luchasaurus stay? There's no reason for him to stay.
He could actually go to Mexico off the back of Lucha Underground.
And here's the thing. He can still hang out with all his friends in AEW no matter what company he went to.
Yeah.
No one would care.
No. Because Tony doesn't run that tight of a ship. We already know that.
So Luchasaurus doesn't have to stay.
No.
Why the fuck would Jack Perry stay? And then the last one.
Sammy, I don't know about. See, the sad part about it is these are the
I'm
most
going to
rickety.
say something that's going
yeah.
to be very unpopular here, but
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. Sammy, get away from Chris Jericho's shadow as quickly as
That's
you
not
fucking
unpopular
can.
on this show. That's like, Sammy, please.
Like Sammy,
We're begging you.
like you. I just mean like I should have said in wrestling. Get away from Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Because you are doing really cool stuff.
Yeah.
You survived something that you shouldn't even have had to go through because you apologized to her. She accepted it. We should have been able to fucking move on.
She
from
has
that.
also asked that we move on
Right,
from it. And
right.
again, I said on the show, if the victim is asking, and again, Jesse, this is another unpopular thing. Nothing actually physically happened. It was
Right.
just a dumb statement.
He just made a stupid ass statement.
Yeah.
He apologized to her on multiple occasions. She has accepted it. Said she talked to him in person and accepted it. Let's move on.
Yes.
It's over.
So we're not even talking about that, but
But you got through that. You've been able to build yourself after like starting off as one of the hottest young talents when they started.
you were in the first match in the history of all Elite Wrestling.
And
Dynamite, I should say.
And every time now, because now they've started to do, factions like they do in New Japan, which is how you should have been doing them in the first place if you're going to have this fucking many. But
You didn't like Matt Hardy coming out with 17 people?
I have nothing to say about Matt Hardy. I should say my mother once said if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. But in this case, I literally have nothing to say about Matt Hardy.
Okay, moving on.
And the other thing is, you're wasting your time hanging around with Chris Jericho. He can't teach you nothing that you don't know, kid. You're 25.
Not at this point in his life.
Like, you go do your own thing. You're very good. Go do your own thing.
He dropped your name on WWE television. Nothing wrong with that.
Right. But otherwise, like, stop wasting your time. because you've already proven you're very smart in this business.
Yeah.
You have a love for this business. Fans love you. You seem like a good guy. Get away from that douchebag.
Yeah.
And just focus on you.
Yeah.
Now, if you still want to talk to Hager and all those guys, that's smart. Because Hager is a guy, I've always said that even if he doesn't wrestle in AEW anymore, to have him as a coach is brilliant. Because that dude understands in-ring storytelling. He just does.
Yeah.
He's always been one of the worst promos in the fucking world. But one of the things he can teach a lot of people is how to tell a story in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jake Hager fucking gets it. Outside of that, your 4 pillars stand on nothing. You built 4 pillars in water with no fucking stronghold for them.
And what's funny is
that bridge is going to fall.
Oh, by the way, this is also one of those stories, and actually Leroy brought this up. This is why people call you a T-shirt company. You put out a T-shirt that has 4 guys on it, and the 4 of them have not interacted in like.
Because,
which, by the way, Leroy, was the funniest thing I think you had said, because you were just like, "Why are we making a T-shirt of 4 guys who haven't even spoke on TV yet?"
That's true.
LAX.
You were right. I told you were right.
LAX.
Our T-shirt's going to be better.
That's fair.
Yeah.
LAX. How am I talking about Santana and Ortiz and they're not multiple tag champs in your company already?
Because they were.
How am I
given to
talking
Chris
about
Jericho.
Santana and Ortiz and the most I ever see them is on Dark Elevation? How do I talk about Santana and Ortiz and they're part of a faction with Chris Jericho, and as you just pointed out, they're never on television.
Except to do a run-in.
All I'm saying, Sammy, is the proof is there. Because those boys should be, we should be talking about them as one of the greatest tag teams of all time who never went to WWE.
Yeah.
And they seem to be stuck in AEW. So, like, your 4 pillars thing is garbage now. Because MJF is probably leaving. He's never fit that company. And if him and Warlow are the best of friends like it sounds like they are off camera, trust me, Vince will pay to have you bring that big motherfucker with you. So
half of your yearly pay, maybe a finder's fee for Wardlow.
Dude, what Warlow probably makes, he would probably make double in WWE.
Easily.
It just go do big guy shit that you already do. We're done. MJF can talk for you. You go do big guy shit.
People don't realize a lot of the green, and Jesse, you actually told me this off mic, that you've even seen out of Cage. A lot of the green was the habits he picked up not only in AEW but on the indies of doing shit that he just doesn't need to be doing.
Correct.
He was trying to get shit in that people wanted him to do and were at least this is our opinion. It seems like that when he just tries to work like a machine like he did in Lucha Underground, like, he's not bad.
No.
The green that is in these guys that they clearly have, it only shows because they're trying to do shit they shouldn't be doing.
Brian Cage, I've always said, when I used to watch Brian Cage and Lucha Underground, let him work like a big guy. Let him work like a big, strong, fast-ass guy.
He was the counterculture to what Lucha Underground was, and it worked.
Hell, Moretes, like, those big dudes worked because a lot of the other guys, well, Ricochet and Mask, of course, but, they were high flyers. Hey, Brian, we got high flyers, so you don't need to fly high.
No.
Just go destroy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And he's very good at it. And that's why when, like, the whole, like, get your shit in thing.
The only thing Brian might have an issue with, and we talked about this with a couple of guys down at the Nerdcon show, is that Brian is only 5'10".
But you know what?
But Vince will visually make that make sense.
Vince will visually make him look like he's 6'5" on television. No.
Yes.
Just the angle he'll tell that idiot with his buck teeth to point at Brian Cage with you. Like, man, he might be 6'4" with that fucking size. And then, of course, you'll see him in person like, oh, he's got to be like my size, my height. Yeah. But yeah, it's, well, well, if he's only 5'10", then I'm definitely taller than him. But it's one of those things where, like, it's that's why I've always been against the get my shit in thing. Because Chavo used to run Lucha Underground. You don't need to get your shit in. Get certain shit in, but then just work within parameters.
Yeah.
You're great enough to work within parameters.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
According to the internet, he's actually 6 foot. So.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say, then he's about my height. He's just massive.
Yes. I was like, because Brian Cage, his contract comes up a lot of the ones, and I was trying.
He's gone.
I was trying to find.
If he does make the leap, actually, if he makes the leap to anywhere, having left AEW,
That train will start with him.
yeah, I
because
couldn't
I think
find.
Tony Ruck, our boy Tony from MAW, Tony even said that there's going to be a mass people leaving WWE soon for AEW, and I'm like, dude, come on. Why would 20 of them go at the same time? They can't all get TV time because the 85 to 112 people they have now can't get TV time. And I'm sorry, if you've already been on WWE television and you've been mistreated, the hell are you going to do going to dark elevation for 6 months?
And before you finish your thought really quick, really right, some of their own undercarders have been talking about how, like, they've been feeling depressed because they haven't even been on dark elevation. Like I said,
You've actually made me feel bad for Joey Janela. You really have. Because Joey's doing nothing right now.
Yeah, he's doing nothing.
Kidding.
Sonny Kiss, I feel terrible for. Abaddon, who I love. They've only
You-
trotted her out recently.
I want to point something out because that was not a bet we made, but that is something that Jesse has actually admitted to me. Bro, I owe you a punishment just because I was stupid enough to think they were going to shoot her to the top.
Because I'm like, dude,
You actually said that statement. I should punish myself for thinking they were going to shoot her to the top.
I'm like, how does this woman have this much talent, get herself over, and you don't fucking use her? Yeah, WWE is guilty of it sometimes.
Accuse Vince of not using people, but some people use that phrase when they go on TV and they get squashed in 5 minutes.
When I say not get used, I mean you literally don't see them.
Nothing's happened. Nothing
But
happened.
go ahead, Leroy. Say what you're going to say.
No, I said a lot of the contracts with AEW are going to be coming up in the next year or two.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Yeah, MJF in 24, even Kenny Omega in 22, 23.
Oh, Kenny's not
Cage.
stupid enough to leave that environment right
Oh, no,
now.
he's not.
Kenny's
but
not.
a lot of them.
Kenny will take a pay cut because Kenny doesn't need that much money. Because guess what? The money he makes in America, he goes back to Japan where he lives.
I was going to say,
he's the richest motherfucker on the island.
but I don't know if he can go back to New Japan if he doesn't take that contract.
So, yeah.
He's going to have to go back to DDT.
Within 22.
What a step down.
What a step down.
Within the next year,
And I love
year and a
DDT.
half,
Mhm.
we probably going to see a lot of change.
See,
Yeah,
well,
the mass exodus is going to be the other way.
This is going to
Yeah.
be okay. Here's the deal. We're going to really delve into this next week, which, by the way, will be an early show because Leroy does need to take the wonderful kiddos out for Halloween.
Yeah,
so
no problem.
we'll be here.
I need
Early.
I need my candy.
That's right.
Not the kids need their candy.
Candy
you
tax.
need your candy.
What is
Parenting candy
it's,
tax.
when I both bags like 2 for you, 1 for dad.
Yeah, exactly.
2 for
Exactly.
you, 1 for dad.
Exactly. But anyway,
I'm smart
no.
that way.
You're a hustler, baby.
And I
We're gonna-
hide the candy so they don't eat all of it in one
We're
night.
gonna delve into this next week, but
They ain't
what
listening
people
to me,
need to
hopefully.
understand is that the only reason we've talked about these leaps is because we got caught in an era in which not only is WWE mass releasing because of COVID, but contracts were starting to come up, and AEW signed long-term deals. No contract can come up because you've only been a company for 2 fucking years.
Right.
But anyway, moving off that, clearly the Pillars, that is the most unstable house in all of America. But hey,
Bridge
is anyone
waiting to fall?
But hey, is anyone surprised there's an unstable house in Jacksonville, Florida? Anyway,
Are we referring to a coach?
no,
Okay.
no,
You
because
can cheat on your wife, but you can't cheat the gang, baby.
yeah, exactly.
That's true.
But here's the deal, folks. Folks,
What's next?
they gave us one hell of a Saudi show. I don't give a damn what.
To
Oh,
be fair
yeah.
to those who say it was a low bar, yes,
The bar was low,
but they raised it quite a bit.
the bar for Saudi shows. And by the way, I think even the Prince looked at that and said, "Okay, stop buying all these older guys. Bring me what you have now." Because it was a hell of a show.
It was a great
Leroy,
show.
you got the results for
Oh,
us, right?
Yes, of course.
Please, and thank
I'm
you.
on the ball.
I
with
was
the-
shocked to wake up on a Thursday morning and watch that and be like, "Wow, this is really fucking good."
This is actually worth getting up for. Holy shit.
Well, that's me. I had the day off.
Yeah.
The kids were out of school, and I'm like, wait a minute, 11 o'clock? Oh, crap, they're
Yeah.
out already. I had to go pick up the kids with the X. I'm like, hey, we're going to miss a little bit. And boom, no, we actually didn't miss one match.
shocked.
I was getting my third COVID shot
Sweet.
during the Hell in a Cell, but I rewatched it.
It was
Yeah.
really good.
All right.
By the way, folks, the third shot, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally you get a little
I
lethargic.
think
for a couple
they
of
called
days.
it a booster shot.
It's a
didn't they?
booster, yeah.
It's a
but-
booster.
yeah.
But go ahead, Leroy.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, opening match during the pre-show, and I watched this, was the Usos taking on the Hurt Business and getting a win there.
God, was this good?
It was a beautiful match.
I don't give
Here's
a
the first thing I want to say.
shit.
They put American crowds to shame because, and let me finish.
But
the
didn't I
statement.
say this?
In a sense, because
They just enjoy the show.
they just go and enjoy the damn show
and they boo for who they're supposed.
and cheer who they're supposed to cheer.
It's funny, but everyone gave people like Leroy shit for like, oh, they told you who to boo and cheer for in the Thunderdome. You know what's weird? Wrestling kind of is better to watch on TV if the fans follow the format a little bit.
Like I said,
it's
when-
weird,
when
but it works.
WWE fans got back, when they first got back, those shows were fun to watch because people were just happy to be live in wrestling again.
Minneapolis, we
Yes, you guys were very.
You guys were crazy.
Shinsuke Nakamura is a god in Minneapolis. That's all I gotta say. Go ahead, Jesse.
And because of them,
And by the way, the stadium was barely filled during
Right,
this match.
right,
but
right.
They were
Yeah.
loud.
Oh,
They
and
were
to
loud.
give- and to give the people in Saudi credit, Saudi Arabia a lot of credit. This is how wrestling shows should be.
They also got rid of the VIP tables.
Yes.
That you know, there was still what were probably friends of the royal family in the front row, but they got rid of the tables.
Yes.
It didn't look too tacky.
Right. And they also
There were some VIP tables down at Nerding Con, but they were just simple tables.
But I was told that most of like the royal family and maybe the prince himself were actually in the box.
Obviously, yeah.
So
Yeah,
so,
I saw the box up.
Yeah,
But
and so they were up there. They did not interfere with Vince's show. They just let those guys do.
well,
what they were
well,
gonna
I
do.
did notice they had some VIP parking by the stage there because
Yeah.
there was camels on both sides.
Yeah, which we'll get to.
the greatest camel spot ever, and I can't believe I'm ever saying that in wrestling. But go ahead,
Maybe.
Leroy.
Well, I was watching. I'm like, kids, look.
We'll get there in a
Look
second.
what's on the stage.
But
and
no,
they're excited.
This
Great-
match, by the way,
Great match.
for a match with no build, this is a nice little match to throw out there to people. like only Vince McMahon can kind of swing this kind of.
if they're
wrestling
smart,
penis.
someone's gonna go to Paul and be like, "Hey, Paul, you think maybe someone should run with the fact that the Usos were back on the pre-card, and maybe Roman can get a little angry about that, and maybe can take Maybe.
But I will say this:
It was great. It was great.
Like to be able to throw this match out there. And I know some people complain that it didn't have a build, but I'm like, it didn't need a build.
No.
Because you just let 4 workers go out there and just do excellent shit.
Shelton is slowly becoming Kota Ibushi levels of just ability
Listen.
at a certain age.
The brother has barely aged and can still do as much as he did.
He could go back
when he
and
was 27.
he could
like-
probably go back and beat some of the heavyweights in
Yeah.
current NCAA wrestling
Oh, yeah.
because he's just so
He's-
jacked.
He's underrated. He will probably never be a world champion. But anytime you allow that guy to go out there, and we've seen it on Raw a few times.
We saw it on Main Event during the pandemic. It's the tweet I will always turn to. I'm pretty sure it was Shelton. Him, Cedric, Tozawa, what they were doing on Main Event when the pandemic first started, some of the best work of that
some of the
year.
best matches of the year.
It was.
Like, yeah, they didn't have stories, but those guys were going out there and working the hell
was
out
great.
of matches.
Yeah,
so.
Now,
I
the
saw
open-
this match
now-
and I was like,
Yeah.
huh? And I loved it.
Yeah.
So,
Opening match.
Opening
oh, my
match.
God, what a way to open.
Hell in a.
Oh.
I saw the beginning of it. Had to go pick up my kids. Saw the end of it. Both me and Eben, and we were excited. It was still on. Seth got beat with a stomp.
They actually pulled that off.
That's pretty sweet.
Edge,
Oh.
God bless you, has been doing the best work of his career since he came back.
He has.
Yes.
It's Shawn Michaels level of second run.
It might be better than Shawn Michaels' level
Yeah.
of second run. Like, besides the like the 40-minute match that still might be going on from WrestleMania 2 years ago with
Yeah.
Randy Orton.
No, that was Backlash. The greatest wrestling match of all time.
No. The original one was WrestleMania where they wrestled for like 45 fucking minutes.
That's true.
Oh,
Last
the
match.
first
one, yeah.
Oh,
Last
that
man
was-
standing.
And you're like, when is this gonna end?
Yeah.
Because they just taped a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Besides that, the guy, every time you see him in the ring or in the ring doing a promo, has he not been the second best thing to Roman?
He has.
Like, and then you're like, yeah, this is what we have been missing for 9 fucking years. We
Edge-
forgot how great of a fucking wrestler
Edge
promo
also,
he was.
and by the way, folks, for all the shit that Seth has got in the past, Edge took a lot of safe bumps.
Yes, he did.
This was a safe match.
Yeah,
it was
was.
worked well.
I've always said
And a Hell in a Cell being safe, that's pretty impressive.
I've never had a problem with Seth Rollins as a professional wrestler.
No.
It's when he sometimes opens his mouth to be the company man
Yeah.
that I'm like, shut up,
Yeah.
because it's not necessary.
Exactly.
But otherwise, listen, I had no doubts that this could be a great match. It surpassed my expectations. This is great stuff.
And by the way,
to be fair,
to actually end
they
it
did a
how-
callback to the Fiend match,
Yep.
which cost him this match.
Yep. The fact that they actually ended it on a stolen move
Right.
was also so well done.
Right. By the way, from what I've been told, this feud for now over.
Nothing wrong with it.
You won't
Oh.
see them wrestle each other on Raw.
They did great.
This was great. This has actually been the best trilogy this year. to me.
Yeah, so far.
A great way to end it.
Yep.
All right, next we have Mansoor, the Undertaker of Saudi Arabia Crown Jewel matches, beating Mufasa Ali.
This was actually great.
It was.
This was actually well done.
To be fair to WWE and Mansoor, he's actually won a lot since he's been called up.
He has. He has. He's actually been doing well.
They've been behind him even since before they announced that
He
they
is
were.
undefeated at Crown Jewel.
Yes, yes.
He is the Undertaker of Saudi Arabia.
Well, they had to give the. I think this is one of the things the Prince has actually asked for is that Mansoor.
I'm about to say the one thing that he will always get is as long as he can wrestle, he will win in Saudi Arabia.
Yes. Hey, so folks, don't ever put. So folks, if you ever see him booked in a world title match and it's a Crown Jewel,
Shit, we're getting a title.
Mansoor,
He's gonna be
Mansoor's
champion.
gonna win. Yeah.
It might only be for 2 weeks, but he's going to be champion.
But no, this actually worked.
Yes.
And it was really good.
And Mustafa Ali also doing some of the best work of his career.
But then the ending with which by the way was a shock to the American crowd,
Right.
but the Saudi crowd lost their ever loving mind.
That's a local hero.
'Cause
there.
that was a
So
local
he's
boy.
He's a gold medalist.
No, he's
silver.
not. Silver medal.
Silver medalist. Sorry.
That's still
in-
something, folks.
Yeah.
He was in the match.
Right.
He was in the gold medal match.
Was it karate or
Karate,
Is
yes.
it,
Yeah.
Okay, judo. I thought it was either karate or judo.
It was karate. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a wonderful. I mean, I didn't know who he was until they told
That
later. I was
that
like, oh, cool.
that was team mini donut versus whatever the other beer was from from Liftbridge.
Yeah.
There's always
Oh,
a
yes,
match.
yes,
There's
yes.
always a match when it's a special occasion that you allow because Jesse, the main event actually had the promoter of Nerd and Con
nice.
out there, and BJ Seastrom turned him into chopped liver. But we'll talk about that a little bit. But anyway,
That's good.
great to see BJ, by the way.
Yes.
He's doing good. But anyway, no, that was your typical. He owns you're in his house. You throw him a bone,
Right.
and it was a great bone for that crowd.
Right.
Next match,
All right.
because again, we're not going to delve into the individual stuff because it was just good.
Yeah.
It was actually these two may not have on TV. They were showing us they didn't have a lot of tag team chemistry, but one on one, it worked.
These matches work.
Yeah.
All right. Up comes the Raw Tag Team Championship match with RK Bro with one of the greatest camel spots.
Screw the camel spot. Michael Cole actually proved that night we cannot give him shit for a while. He earned some mad cred in there, being like, Riddle riding high to the ring. And I'm like, God fucking damn
on
it.
a damn camel.
Pat McAfee's been rubbing off on him because he wasn't even fucking there.
I got to be honest with
Oh.
Great match, and with RK
when
Bro
Randy
winning.
came out by himself at first, I was like, the fuck? And so
And then
when I saw him
It's
come
like,
out on
what
the
are you doing?
camo, and I saw Randy's face, and I saw AJ and Almas's face, I was like, yeah, that's the only face you can make.
Well, not
Like,
only that, not
okay.
only that, either Randy's the greatest actor in the world or no one told him about that.
I got a feeling
think
no
anybody-
one told
I got
him.
a feeling.
Like, they were probably talking about, like, well, we might have him ride out on camo. He's probably like, that's a bad idea. Don't do that.
He probably had been told snippets of it, but I don't think he actually thought they were going to do it.
So when he came out, he was like, where the fuck is he? And then he walks, and he's like, no fucking way is he
Well,
on
they-
this
they
camo.
talked
And by the way, to the couple of people that I saw on the internet be like, "Oh, that's Randy's I'm going to AEW face." No, that's Randy's face of like, "You know what? We're going with it. I'm cool with it.
You know what? This is WWE, man. Shit happens.
Why
Let's
not?
do
We're
this.
good."
Well, as Riddle, he said he knows a lot of people, and he had a camel guy there.
Riddle,
That's what he said.
nothing against Matt Riddle.
Oh,
And
And
that's
that's feeding us-
funny.
he was petting
nothing
them, feeding
against
them
Matt
trains
Riddle.
earlier,
In
so
real
yeah.
life,
Yeah.
Matt Riddle has one true connection, and it ain't a camel.
I was gonna say.
And, but he did let us know what the camel's name was too.
He did, yes.
Yeah, Scooter.
Fucking love Matt Riddle.
He's like, bro.
Nothing's really been bad with Matt Riddle. It's just
people are like, man, the character's a little annoying. I'm like, maybe I have a little bit of Vince's humor then because I'm like, there's nothing he does that I'm not like, I fucking love this guy.
Why do I love this so much?
I just love this dude so much.
I shouldn't be enjoying this.
Like, he should annoy the shit out of me, but I love Riddle so much.
Somebody said, is like, is he a pothead? Yeah.
Oh,
that's a character?
He's got a mushroom tattooed on his fucking rib cage. Everything about Riddle, even taking away his name, I don't know why it's worked, but goddamn, I love it, and I love this match.
I just love that Vince has allowed him to be like, he's just like, just go be yourself on a level 30,000.
Be a stoner. Just go be a stoner. And by the way, folks,
it's great.
And by the way, folks, Michael Cole once again did say something that makes sense. Even if you know it's coming, even if you know how it's going to end, when it's a big-time super RKO, you love it every goddamn time. It's so much fun to watch. Because it's so sudden.
They have played with this spot so fucking much that I really didn't think Randy was actually going to hit him with it.
But that's the beauty of Vince. That's the beauty of Vince.
I'm like, okay, AJ's going to go. He's going to act like he's going to hit him.
But it's so sudden because here's the deal. It's not like Randy grabs AJ and then AJ's momentum makes them fall forward. It literally is just flat down.
Yeah.
90 degrees, AJ's face goes to the ground.
Before he can get the whole forearm over, he gets caught with it.
And by the way, AEW, that's how you don't just show people go for a spot. AJ's arm wasn't tucked.
No.
It was out far enough to where he still could have recoiled.
Hit him.
But it's like, no, this is one thing I do want to analyze for AEW. And by the way, to all those, and by the way, to the boys in the Acclaimed who, you got a sign over there in Saudi Arabia. Two things. Number one, nobody in AEW needs to bring Alex Trebek's name up, you fucking idiots. And number two, you're just mad because the blood money is...
Shut the fuck up.
Here's the deal. You're just mad because the blood money's not in your pocket. Because guess what? As they said down at MAW, that money, you can't see the bloodstains if you squint real hard, but it still looks like money.
Let me be very clear.
It still looks like money.
Let me be very clear about the blood money thing. For those who don't know, Tony's dad has relations in China.
Yep.
Business relations.
Yep.
I would not say that's a clean fucking country.
No.
So if you end up over there because you guys know the bonuses you can get, I don't want to hear this fucking statement anymore.
Jesse, I said it many times. It's really easy to speak from the peak of Mount Everest when it's barren and no one's there to talk to you about your shit,
right? And
somebody at the summit's got a hot meal and can breathe real oxygen.
Exactly.
It's real easy to shit on someone from up high when guess what? No one's offering you a hot meal.
Right. But I'm telling you, if Tony,
they got a hot meal, they got a nice hotel, and and everybody over there probably got a 7-figure day.
If Tony is told, hey,
because there's some private guests going on.
Well, here's the deal. If you actually look at the card. If you give 7 figures to each person that was on the card, even out of that 50, Vince is still making a killing on that.
Here's the thing: if Tony is told by his dad, "Hey, I need to smooth some shit over. You guys are going to China." Guess where AEW is going? They're going to fucking China.
They're going to China. They're going to China, but folks.
Daddy signs all those checks. You're going to fucking China.
Yeah, Jesse. Daddy said so.
But yeah,
Daddy said so.
End of that tag match with that RKO. Oh shit!
It still shocks me because it's still the most odd thing I've ever seen in wrestling. It's like you got a guy now. Okay, Evan Bourne was different because it was the press, but a flying maneuver. And you just stop at 90 degrees and go straight down.
Here's the thing. That actually started with CM Punk, to be fair to him.
Yeah.
Because CM Punk actually was doing a springboard clothesline.
Yep.
And Randy caught him right at the fucking perfect time. But for those who don't know, they practiced that 3 times.
Yeah.
Because CM Punk was because he was like, Randy, you're going to have to jump at the right time.
Yeah.
And Randy twice failed to catch him at the right time.
Yeah.
So Randy has actually only gotten better at these out of nowhere spots because he's done it so much.
I also
now.
love that. Yeah, you say WWE's out of touch. Y'all made a meme and they just keep going with it. Y'all made a meme and they actually have kept going with it.
Yeah,
so
you can even have Evan come in here and tell you he watch it with me.
Yep.
And he's like, Oh my God! I mean, yeah. He loves AJ, but
And by the way, folks,
he loves Randy.
And by the way,
Right.
folks, the most consistent thing, and Jesse said it first before even I did. The most consistent thing on Raw, even though it's been terrible a lot of times, it's been RK Bro.
Oh,
It's actually been the best thing on
Without a
Raw
doubt.
for
I love
the longest time.
I've always also said when Randy's on, one of the best things on Raw has been Randy Orton.
All right.
Like he's just that guy. But go ahead.
We'll go on to the next one.
And by the way, Jesse, you were right about the fact that the reaction is hard for Omos because people don't realize until he walks down that ramp. I mean, like, Omos actually...
They couldn't even boo AJ.
Can I also point this out?
No.
Because like as he's walking down, you see them like this. Like he's so fucking huge.
Can we also point something out? Omos actually can look over that camel's head. That is a scary...
Yeah.
That is a scary
just standing up?
freaking thought.
Just standing up.
Camels not little. They're
They're big.
Now, by the way,
creatures.
to go from WrestleMania, where all he did was have them bounce off, to now being able to showcase a little bit of real stuff, it's been great.
Oh yeah.
But I'm worried.
No, I agree. What happens when he...
Because here's the thing. Before you get to the next
When
match,
he's
real
single.
quick. By the time that they want to push him, I still don't know if he'll be ready to consistently do this as a singles competitor.
No, I agree. No, I agree. But
So that's my only word, because the guy who keeps losing these matches for them is AJ.
Yes.
But it doesn't hurt AJ
No.
because it only builds a story that Omos at some point is going to be like, I don't need AJ because
Well, not
I
only that-
dominate on my own.
well, not only that, AJ Styles is, we've already said, what up there in Shawn Michael level. It's like Shawn Michaels looking at Kurt Angle from WrestleMania, I think it was 21.
Mm-hmm.
A loss at this point, no matter what, doesn't hurt my career.
No.
AJ Styles is solidified.
Just like
It just-
he could have lost to Chris, doesn't hurt him. Like
No.
he's going to the Hall of Fame.
He got to
Done
WrestleMania
deal.
for the first time. We saw AJ Styles walk down the ramp at WrestleMania. It was the largest crowd AJ had ever
Right.
been in front of, even bigger than the Tokyo Dome.
Yes.
And because the Tokyo Dome really didn't pick up until after he left.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
But that's part of him doing what he did. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't have success in it, but the man who built the Tokyo Dome is Hiroshi Tanahashi. The man who has filled it is arguably Okada and AJ.
Correct.
And
Correct.
AJ was only there for a year. Holy shit. But anyway, Leroy, moving on from this.
The next one is the first match of our lovely tournament finals with the Queen's Crown with Zelina Vega.
It was short,
being
but I
the
liked
queen.
it. This actually worked.
That was a 5-minute match.
I was about to say what was fucked up was it was the longest match.
It was.
It was the longest match of the tournament.
They did say
5:55.
they did say not that it was the best thing to do. They did say that this match wasn't going to go long in
here's-
Saudi
here-
Arabia.
Well, here's what I don't understand. I'm laughing about it because remember I was pissed last week.
You were.
Because I'm like, this is going to go 1 minute. Dewdrop's going to win. That's fine. Whatever. Because it's in front of Saudi Arabia. Whatever. But no, it was the longest match of the tournament. So I'm like, wait a minute. Why didn't you do longer matches in America then?
To be fair, they did. There was a rumor backstage that they didn't want to get people's hopes up about the final because it was in
Correct.
Saudi.
Correct.
And it was going to be one of the, and because of time constraints, it was going to be one of the shorter ones.
Right.
And they didn't want to go 5 hours on this. They
Correct.
wanted to keep it to 4.
Correct.
So, from a
I think they
formatting,
still went close to fucking 5 hours anyway.
4.5, I think.
Well, I was saying, I think it was 4.5.
But to be fair,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, to be fair, if you want to temper people's expectations,
Yeah.
that's a real formatting
No.
TV thing.
No. I feel that. But I just thought it weird.
But it was actually good. I
No,
liked
no. It was a
this,
good match.
This was heels doing heel shit,
Yeah.
and it was a babyface that was just clearly over with those crowds. You had kids doing the little spirit thing. It was good. I liked it.
Claire was sad
Oh, of course.
because Dewdrop. I was pulling for
Yeah.
Dewdrop myself, and she didn't win.
The
so
reason why
you're
I
sad
said
about
the
that,
reason
but hey, it's
why
all right.
okay, the reason
Selena's
why
good in
I
the Crown.
said give me Selena is because she was already so good playing up the gimmick. Now that she is it, I'm sorry, she gonna be King Booker in about 2 weeks.
She's gonna be the queen bitch.
She gonna be King Booker in about 2 weeks.
All right.
Here's the only thing that I took out of this.
What was on her shirt, by the way? Did we ever figure that out?
What do you mean?
Well, Dewdrop had a shirt that might have made the Saudi prince a little uncomfortable because it was her name and then the rainbow going out from it. But
Because it
Selena-
looks like the gay pride
Yeah,
rainbow.
exactly. But the
I'm
Selena thing,
guessing.
her shirt looked like something written in Arabic.
Yeah,
I'm not
I don't
100%
know.
sure.
I have to look that up.
But my issue is nothing with that because whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. But My issue is this.
So we're never covering Crown Jewel live. Got it. In Saudi.
Listen, you two can go if you would like.
All right, that's fair.
If
Fuck
I get
that
paid,
guy.
I go. If I get paid enough, I'll go.
But I will say this: you got to do something with this with Selena, because otherwise you're just doing a queen gimmick,
I agree.
and those mostly go nowhere,
I agree.
unless you're Charlotte, apparently. But otherwise, they usually go nowhere. But
Yeah.
go
She
ahead.
has her
Selena.
own
Yep.
sub.
But
brand
Right,
but
right.
anyway, no. I didn't care who won, but I was actually happier with this result.
And the match was good.
And then, but
It was
here's
a good
the
match,
deal,
yes.
folks. Sometimes you can look at a match, and if you just put that match in a vacuum and forget about all the dirt sheet stuff around it, they actually told a full story in 5 minutes, and I was
Yeah.
impressed as shit by both of them.
Yeah.
They in 5 minutes this worked.
By the way, very happy husband that day. Very happy husband.
He was
Oh yeah.
Very happy.
very happy.
I have not seen him tweet that much since he became Malachi Black.
Can I also point something out, folks? You can't say they're burying Selena since she got back because they just gave her a very prestigious
Been
victory.
featured on SmackDown television? No.
Folks, in wrestling, burying someone is they lose horribly, then you don't see him for 6 months. She kept losing, but she was on TV.
It's you constantly keep losing horribly, and then we finally don't see you.
She
That's
wasn't losing
burying.
horribly; she was just losing. I
Right.
mean, it's not like she wasn't getting a chance.
Burying is when you stop caring about someone.
Yes, go ahead,
Yes.
Leroy.
Go ahead.
The next one features one of, I'm being sarcastic about it, one of Jesse's favorite guys, Goldberg, against Bobby Lashley. And Goldberg got the pin, which I went a little bit longer than I thought.
I
but
think this was once
I thought it was
again.
a
Let's
pretty
get
decent
out the
match.
way that Goldberg won. I told you he would. I'm done with that. I'm not
I-
discussing Goldberg.
No.
I thought it was a pretty good
The-
match.
I'm actually going to give this old piece of shit credit.
But
Okay,
okay,
all right.
hold on. Then let me get the part out of the way so you can do this. But here's the deal: to get this part out of the way for Jesse, so we will not speak on it again.
Okay.
This, I think, was another situation of you gave the promoter the owner of the venue what he wanted. That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
think this
true,
was.
yeah.
Now moving on, Jesse.
The match was actually all right. It was good. It was fun. I'm actually happy they made it no disqualification.
Yes.
To protect that old fuck who can't wrestle for shit. And to also protect Bobby Lashley, who was about to lose to him.
It was
I
a
don't
good
wanna
table
s-
spot.
I don't want to see Goldberg again. Now, unfortunately, I will because they'll be going back to Saudi Arabia in February. But I don't want to see
because
Goldberg
Crown Jewel's in
again.
the fall.
Yeah.
What's the show?
Oh, shit.
In the-
I don't
Because now they've actually featured Crown Jewel into their Riot celebration that goes on that week.
Riyadh.
Yeah,
Riyadh.
Riyadh celebration.
Yeah.
So, sorry I pronounced that
Yes.
wrong.
Yes.
If you're Muslim, trust me, I have no problem with you.
No.
You know why I have my problems
Yes.
with the Saudi prince. But otherwise,
Finish your statement.
good stuff.
Yep.
I don't want to see Goldberg again.
Yep.
You old fuck. Don't come back. You know what? If they offer you the check, then do the Saudi show. Otherwise, I don't want to see you on television again. Okay? It's horrible. It's horrible. Leroy, listen.
Yes.
I know this guy was entertaining in the 90s. I know it.
Well, yeah.
I was there.
Yes.
Okay, I went to a few of the shows. My dad, God bless him. He's not dead, but God bless him.
Yep.
Tried to be the best dad he could. Brought me to some shows.
Yep.
And as I look at him as a 32-year-old man, I want to choke him through my fucking screen now, Leroy. Because how is that guy a role model talking about he wants to murder someone when his son was at fault? That's all I'm saying. So don't come back besides the next Saudi show. But good stuff. All right, Leroy, next match. That's all I wanted to get out there.
Please get to the next match because our audio can't take what Jesse will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next match.
All right. The next match was the King Ring tournament with Xavier.
Allison.
King Xavier
Allison
Woods.
very disappointed, but at the same time, she was torn because she loves her boy Xavier.
They gave us what but not your future wife, of course, but
Yeah.
what most of us wanted.
Oh,
And here's
I wanted Woods from the get go.
But here's the thing.
It was an underdog story.
It doesn't hurt Finn at all.
Oh no.
He's still going to be in the main event of
Prince
Raw.
is gonna
And
be fine.
And I don't think anyone needs to say it's time for Finn to be all elite because I hate to say it. Jesse said this last week on the show during that list that he ever so lovely covered. Tempest is currently in the Canadian Witness Protection, which means Tempest is still walking around and no one even knows he's there. Anyway, but here's the deal. Sorry, Canada, we love you.
Right.
He's got a moose protection program. We're fine.
Hey, we got some maple syrup there. Eh?
It's still better than the Jericho security system, but but
hey, that was a really good one. You're talking about.
Fucking idiot.
But anyway, no. Finn Balor. You said it last week, Jesse. All Elite exists because of Finn Balor.
Yes.
But I think even Finn says, "I did that already."
Right.
And I did it better than all of you. I don't need the IWGP Heavyweight title.
No.
I've already done everything
Right.
that All Elite's done.
Yeah.
He might just go back to the UK.
Finn is like, listen, there's a legacy right
he could.
here that I'm trying to build.
And by the way,
When I'm
folks,
done with this legacy, I'm done.
and by the
He's
way,
40
folks,
now.
well, yeah, and folks, by the way, Finn's career, much like his boy, because they are boys,
Yeah.
Kenta, folks, it's been derailed because of a fucking injury that was
Yeah.
no one's fault.
Right.
Seth Rollins just came off one of the best world title runs you'd seen in a long time,
Right.
and they clearly chose Finn.
Right.
They were clearly. And by the way, it ain't no way Vince was going to say, okay, this is a 2-week transition. Ain't no way Finn Balor was going to be a 2-week. He was over the god.
They
Oh, God, yeah.
they 100% bought into Finn Balor.
And I don't think they're done with him.
And they were never done with
No.
him. I just think there was a time where it seemed like Vince's booking showed he was frustrated.
Yeah.
Where he was just like, if I put you in the main event, you get hurt again, where does that leave me?
Exactly.
So, but otherwise,
Which is not anyone's fault.
No.
It's just what happened.
And by the way, let's do a quick sports analysis. GMs do that every now and then, where they're like, "Listen, we put certain things in the contract. Where if you're hurt, well, guess what? You're going to make less.
Yeah.
Because I have to take care of you, but I can't pay you when you're not on the field or the court or whatever.
Kyrie Irving to Sacramento confirmed. Anyway.
But otherwise, great match. We get what we want. He gets what he deserves because without him, I don't even think
The
they
cape
do
doesn't
this
work.
again.
We'll fix that later. when he just gets into his shit and something
He's
goes wrong,
great.
he the best part is that he acknowledges everything from
Right,
good and bad,
right.
but just keeps going. And it was just. And by the way,
Cape's not going to stay. We'll get to that later.
not to mention the fact, folks, he literally said he didn't want the WWE Championship.
No.
He wanted the King of the Ring.
Yes, he does.
And he got it. And we love it, and we're going to love every second of it. And by the way, the video of Kofi in his home watching,
Oh, that was awesome.
that is true genuineness from one of the true gentlemen of the sport,
Also,
Kofi Kingston.
because he's a great friend, shouted out Breeze, shouted out Adam Cole.
He did.
Didn't have to do that.
No.
They actually allowed him to put. They actually put that on the Peacock show. It's still there.
Yep.
Like he's a great friend as well.
Yep.
And WWE wasn't even dirty about it. Like that was really your friends. We don't.
Well,
care.
but again, Prince Pretty's still on up, up, down, down.
True. Well, they've ended the show now, but
Yeah.
they did end it now. But so and Tyler does stuff with Adam, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen. All kudos in the world to WWE for going. You know what? We got something here where the fans are already behind the guy. Let's just fucking run with it.
People get mad at them for doing what a lot of companies do. But can I also point something out? The only reason why Tony won't do some of those things is because the only reason people came to you was because it's, quote, wrestler friendly. Modern
Right.
wrestler friendly.
Right.
Bro, in the old days, Taker wasn't mad about Hall and Nash. Hall and Nash weren't mad about Taker.
Right.
Everyone took shots. Everybody was secretive. Nobody gave a shit back then.
Right,
It's
right.
just this generation that cares.
Yeah.
Businesses do this all the time.
Right. Right.
If Leroy and I end up on like hard times, Quick Trip still won't let us go work for another gas station, even though that's what we're good at. But like it's just business shit.
Right. Right. Right.
But folks, this is what he wanted. He got it. He's gonna do great work with
Yes,
it.
he will.
And Allison did point something out, which kind of proved Finn was gonna lose. They didn't put royalty on both shows because Finn was obviously going to
Raw.
so, which is fine because Allison in December will get us kicked out of the Target Center. Not Target Center, XL.
I cannot wait to
hopefully
hear
not.
what she has to say.
We are going to get kicked out by
Hey,
security because of what she's going to say to Corey Graves.
he's engaged now, right?
Corey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Congratulations.
Yeah. This is yeah, we're going to get kicked.
That woman is vicious.
Allison's gonna get us kicked out of the fucking.
Allison is a vicious
Oh, okay.
woman.
I was worried.
No.
I thought you were referring to a different one.
No.
We're gonna get kicked out of the Target Center
She's
because
not
she's not gonna
vicious.
let Corey Graves speak.
Oh, you have yet to hear her talk about Corey Graves like I have, haven't you?
I have. But
Oh.
It's on the Allison Chronicles
She-
live
yeah.
on our YouTube.
I've also
She's a
heard it when
sweetheart.
we wrote down the shows together.
Yes.
She is quite vicious.
No.
She does not like that tattooed man.
No.
Not even a little bit.
No.
She's a sweetheart.
So maybe I should try to find some seats behind you and then be like, hold on, Allison. Hold on.
We're gonna get kicked out of the XL Energy Center. I already know
All right.
we are.
All
right, moving on.
The next Saudi show after it'll be the Super Showdown.
Okay,
That's what
Super
it's called.
Showdown's the next one.
That's what it's
Okay.
called.
Which, by the way, folks, if you replace 2 of your normal shows for that, you're making $100 million.
To be
Shut
fair,
the hell
well,
up.
to be fair, you know what? Because here what was nice about this Hell in a Cell match, real quick before you go into the next match. It felt like it deserved to be there.
Right?
Like, it wasn't just they did it because the pay-per-view's name is Hell in a Cell.
I actually wouldn't mind replacing Crown Jewel with Hell in a
Yes.
Cell going forward, because then, even if there is always a Hell in a Cell at Crown Jewel, it's only going to be one, and it'll probably be a big feud.
a match that deserves it.
so,
Like,
so
There we go, yeah.
that works.
Yeah, I ain't going to hate it. But yeah,
they needed to start getting rid of some of the theme pay-per-views anyway, because it was getting kind of
I was
fucking
okay with
stupid.
TLC being taken off the calendar this
Extreme
year.
Rules needs to go because this year they only had 2 Extreme Rules matches. That's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise,
Just go back to the names like No Mercy, Armageddon, all that
Correct.
kind of stuff.
Correct.
And we'll deal with it
All
later.
right.
Correct.
All right. But anyway,
The next match.
Yep.
I'll need Jesse's help on this one.
okay.
The next match, Big E,
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre, because
Big meaty men slapping meat for at least 20 minutes. Big slappity slap with the big meats. Oh, it was so good. Oh,
WWE
Big
won't.
E getting the win.
WWE
You're
won't.
welcome.
WWE won't license that on a T-shirt. We will. I got no problem licensing that on a T-shirt.
You need a smoke after that, or what?
well, before I send my resume and that video clip to Vince, yes. Oh my God.
Is there a Is there a place on LinkedIn is there a place on LinkedIn for videos? Because there you go.
Listen,
I
Vince,
had to ask his
Vince,
help for
all you
that
got to
one.
do is listen to me, and you'll know you can hire me as a writer and trust me with your big guys.
And fire you once every 3 months.
Like every 3 months, you're gonna fire me. I'll be back a month afterwards because you're like, man, I miss that black guy talking about big meaty men slapping meat. We do need to see more big meaty men slapping meat. I agree. It's just big meaty dudes slapping meat for like 20 minutes. And
See,
listen, Drew loses nothing.
Nope.
No.
But Big E gets what Kofi never got, and that's a legitimate retention against a legitimate contender. Nothing against Randy Orton, but you
I
always
agree.
knew
Nope,
there was
yep.
never really a chance he was probably taking that off of Kofi.
Yeah.
Even though he's always a legitimate threat.
Yes.
Because he's very much the Okada of WWE.
Yes.
If they don't trust what's going on in the main event scene,
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
We may have to kill Riddle for about 6 months, but Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
I-
So
We may literally have to send Riddle to the wrestling equivalent of Siberia,
but Randy Orton's going to be champion.
but Randy Orton.
But so here's the thing. Great match.
Oh God,
They did what they
needed.
needed to do. Both kicking out of the finishers, which actually got me.
Mm-hmm.
The false finishes were brilliant.
But a false finish in a big man match, when you talk about moves that are legitimate big man moves,
Yeah.
not crazy high flying, not even the one wing angel bullshit. Which, by the way, folks, this is.
By the way,
By the way, folks, I hate to say this, I'm not. Here's a spoiler for Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page. For the first time ever, Hangman Adam Page will be kicking out of the one wing angel.
probably.
Anyway, go ahead.
And by the way, this is when WWE does these kind of matches, it's a reminder that he used to work with Antonio Inoki, because this is a match that would work in New Japan. It's just big dudes beating the shit out of each other.
Which, by the way, the Japanese audience
Which
tends
Japanese
to really enjoy.
audience loves to watch you beat the shit out of each other.
Well,
for
that's
more
why
than half
Vader
an
had
hour.
such a run. That's why
Yes.
Stan Hansen had such a run.
Hell, Hulk Hogan had a nice run
Yeah.
because he got away from the Americanized stuff. It was just, I'm going to beat the shit out of you for 25 minutes, and it works. So,
Yeah, Bruiser got it. He was over.
yeah. So, it works. Drew loses nothing. Big E gains a lot. Perfect shit. I see nothing else to really bring up here.
There you
Really
go.
nothing.
I still got to get that new board so I can record
Big
that. So I can
This
play
man
that.
slapping
This,
me.
folks, is an Elstein rule match. This,
There you go.
That's all it was.
You know what? We will call this the big meaty men rule.
Okay, that's fair.
That, yeah,
Yeah.
for
We
Jesse-
got to get the board so we
for-
can just put that in
so
there.
so I can have I can make my own sound
Yeah.
effects.
And
that
like I said,
is gonna
folks,
be on there.
WWE will not license that T-shirt. We sure
We
as hell
damn
will.
sure are going to
Hell
try.
yeah.
We sure as hell will license that T-shirt.
Jesse's image and big, yeah.
It's so good.
We can
So
make
good,
that
yeah.
work.
All
All right,
right.
next one is the ladies' triple threat match with Becky retaining
We all.
Her title.
Here's the
Oh
deal.
my God! They allowed them to go like 15 minutes.
Here's the deal. Two things. Number
How
one.
long was the match?
No, that was more than that. Was Biggie? It was 13.
Yeah.
The triple threat was 19 and a
Awesome!
25.
20 minutes. Okay, two things.
Yeah,
Now,
almost
two
20
things out of the
minutes.
way so we can get to the greatness of the match. Number one, we agree should have been Sasha just because of the belt switch thing that
Correct.
happened later.
Yeah, yeah.
And number two, Allison pointed this out during the Queen of the Ring entrance by Selena. They wore their hair down.
Mhm.
Jesse, that's technically
That's
it's
progress.
technically
That's progress.
It's a little thing, but when you've been the
I
same
know.
for like 400
I
years,
know. It's progress.
longer than 400 years, it's progress.
It's progress.
Well, progress is they had 2 women's matches on that night too.
Also,
That's progress right there.
Also, by the way, big ups to Natalia and your boy Titus O'Neil, who, like you said, doesn't need to wrestle another day in his life because what he's doing makes him a god among men. Really, the women, by the way, didn't. Their faces were only covered due to COVID protocol. They weren't covered due to normal. So I mean, little progress here.
Correct.
Well,
Little progress here.
They were wearing traditional.
So it was
Garb
it was
and-
long
yeah.
wrestling suits.
Yeah.
But of course the t-shirts the kind of. But that's okay. You listen. The little bit of change you might get every now and then from that guy, I'll take.
and I love that moment because God loving, thank you, my mother. I think 16-year breast cancer survivor.
That's
Oh,
fantastic.
wow.
So
That's fantastic.
I mean, it touches my heart
Yeah.
Right.
when they do that because
anyway-
my mom's still here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but anyway, the only problems were the ending of the match, only due to the fact of the belt swap bullshit. But no,
I mean, Becky won heel because she's supposed to be heel.
Right.
And it's. I usually say this about AEW, but I'm going to say it here again with WWE, especially in the women's division.
yeah,
They're not. This is not working, guys.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not working. And if you know it's not working,
You're talking about Becky's heel run?
yeah, if you know she's supposed to be heel, okay, and people are still cheering for her, she was getting one of the biggest pops of the night.
Well, okay. In that scenario, I will actually defend keeping consistent booking because she's getting booed in America. It's different over there.
But it's still not
Because-
as much.
No. I agree, but okay, you have to take into account the Saudi show fans as it is fun, but at the same time, there are certain moments where I think once again, to prove a rule, you have to have an exception. To me, this is my exception.
And that's an acceptable rule.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they're actually reacting the same that she would almost get here.
Well, but
And
she
it's-
gets but here's the deal. Right before Crown Jewel, if you actually paid attention, they stopped cheering during the entrance and then booed her once she got the microphone. They're actually starting to boo during the entrance, even with the music, even with the not pyro but the mist.
I mean, and
Yeah,
we'll
the
see
steam or
because
whatever they
she
call
on Raw she will be featured.
Yes,
She will have
Oh, yeah.
main event segments.
Yes.
And she deserves it.
yes.
But if I still hear more cheers than boos,
No, I agree.
You got to move away from this.
I agree. All right.
Because I get
Right.
it was her idea, but unlike Roman, it's not working.
fair enough.
Well, that ends in the last match of the night.
Oh my God,
The Tribal Chief and the Beast.
this was great.
Oh,
Brock.
The ending actually almost pulled me out of it.
Well, before we get to the
Almost.
ending,
almost, really.
Almost,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Brock, however, seems motivated in this.
Well,
Oh,
listen,
God, yeah.
he's working with a guy he always loves working with, and that's
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah. And by the way, I think a lot of people gained a lot more respect for Brock because right before Crown Jewel, the interview actually came out as to why he left the wrestling in the first place. you can't fault a man for wanting to go home and be a dad. I know everyone says, well, you faulted Hangman Adam Page. He wasn't leaving his child. He just had to leave for one night to go win a title and then go see the birth of his kid.
Right.
That's all it was.
Right.
Leroy, I understand the birth of a child, very sentimental thing. But here's the deal.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Based on the timeline, he could have seen the birth, and he literally
Yes.
could have had his cake and eaten it too.
Right.
It
Oh,
would have
yes.
been different if she was in labor during the pay-per-view,
Right.
but her due date wasn't the pay-per-view. They just sent him home to be a dad for a while, have him win the belt, then send him home with Kenny's such a snarky piece of shit. He could have ran with that for a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah,
You
he
didn't
could've.
need to do this, motherfuckers, but you did. So anyway, no, big difference. Brock left entirely to go be with his kids. But again, Hangman and Kenny we will never accuse them of being on the level of Brock Lesnar's stardom. Okay,
No,
we'll never
no.
accuse them of that. But anyway, no,
Hell of a match.
hell of a match. Ending was a bit off,
A little overbooked.
but that is the only issue.
And here's the thing. I'm not talking about the Paul Heyman segment because that was fucking brilliant.
Oh, God.
Because Paul Heyman is fucking brilliant.
He'll sell you a pen. He'll sell you
Throw the
air. He'll
belt in
sell
there,
you
it's like, go
water.
ahead, do whatever
He
you want.
said what he said was he threw the belt in there and he says, "You know what to do with it," but he didn't say who he was addressing that to. Brilliant piece of storytelling. Where it got overbooked
Was the tug?
was the fucking Usos. The tug I can let go.
Okay.
Was the Usos. They weren't needed.
No, I agree.
No, I don't think they were needed at all.
They you could have had Brock win the tug, which he probably would because they're both strong guys.
Yeah.
Once again, big meaty men slapping meat here. Big meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah.
Like I said, it just works. And so,
We got to make this a T-shirt.
yeah,
we just have to.
but
I got some.
Brock could have.
I got
missed,
some artist friends. I'm just gonna send them the soundbite, and then I'm gonna say, "Give me a graphic. Make me something. I don't care what it is. Make me something."
We'll see what they can do up at the Frog. You know, maybe they could.
Maybe. So,
I want to see what my artist
But,
friends do
okay,
first. before we go to
right.
those.
but Brock could have missed trying to hit him with the thing.
Yeah.
Got Superman punch. Had
Yeah.
Roman still do the thing where he hits him with the title.
Yeah.
To win.
Yeah.
No problem.
That seems to be the only issue with these two guys is that I think because it's them and because they're always so high profile, there's too many people watching it. There's Mr. Is There an Attraction? There's Mr. People Power. There's
He's an
There's Vince.
attraction.
Thank you. There's
People power.
There's also Vince. Then there's Paul.
Slap meat.
There you go. The problem with these two guys will always be, I think that there's always too many people that have too many ideas.
True.
And it's another scenario. Just let them do what they're already doing.
Right.
Okay? Brock talked as much as he needed to during this whole thing. Because, again, the only thing that doesn't fit Brock is his voice. And people,
Yeah, it's never fit
yes.
him.
and people notice it after about 10 minutes. But Brock talked very clean,
Right.
very simple, very quick.
Right.
It seems like the ending for these two always gets overbooked, not because they don't know what they're doing, but because there's too many people above Paul E that are involved, and that's because they're so high profile. That's the only thing here. Like I said, it almost took you out of it, and now Brock is suspended. No, Brock's got to go bring the harvest in.
I'm about to say,
anyway,
Brock's going to get the harvest that he killed with his bare hands. He'll be back around the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why the first pictures of Brock in a man bun circulated him at a butcher. Brock just rips the ribs off himself.
I'm about to say the first photo should have been like, oh, that's how Brock gets his meat.
Yeah.
He literally rips it himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a freak of fucking nature.
A man that I can't insult because there's a very real chance he might actually hurt me.
You know,
Very real-
he is
No,
the alpha
he
male.
will.
Wants to give Michael Cole credit. He is the alpha male of the species.
Pat McAfee. Actually.
Yeah, Pat
McAfee,
McAfee.
yeah,
Yeah. Well,
And if the
give
aliens
Michael Cole
come-
credit for using the line.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But no. The only thing here is I think the only issue is that too many things get thrown against the wall when it comes to these two because Vince doesn't do what he used to do with Brock, which is just let Paul go.
Right.
Remember the famous thing you always go back to, Paul talking to a live audience. You should be a Russian. He looked like it, but no. You should have people just bounce off of you. No. Paul Heyman was like, this is a former NCAA heavyweight champion. Undefeated in the year he won.
Right.
I think he had one loss total in his entire NCAA career.
Yeah.
No, just, I get it. now because they're the top of the card. There's too many people. But it wasn't egregious.
It wasn't egregious.
No.
But it was almost. People use the word WWE overbooking a lot, or the term.
Yeah.
But really, when I talk about it, it's just like you almost did too much.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to do too much. Get out of your own fucking way.
The Usos, like you said, the Usos would have been needed if they had built to this as Brock and Roman were not equals, but
Right.
they were built equally
But they were
up.
clearly both equals
Yes.
here.
If this was this was literally built Kong versus Godzilla.
right.
If it was built fair, who was the woman from the original Godzilla film? Leroy, the woman that he carried up the building.
Oh shit!
Famous,
I don't know about the original one, but it was Naomi.
famous actress.
It was Naomi something in the 1999
Dawn.
version.
You should know that, but anyway.
I think it was Faye Dawn.
Was
But-
it Faye Dawn?
Yeah. Well, but anyway.
That was what 56.
somewhere in that
That
range.
movie
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah, but here's the deal. It wasn't built like that.
Even though that guy clearly was in a fucking suit. Golly, I'm glad Hollywood has come so far. Continue.
That's fair. Nope. It's fair. But no, Jesse, this wasn't built Kong and his lady. This was built Kong versus Godzilla.
Right.
So you didn't need. Okay, the Usos are now just going to be. Mothra is fair. I'll give them Mothra.
Yeah.
I don't want to give them Ghidorah. No offense, but you're not Ghidorah, boys. I'll give you Mothra.
Because here's the thing. Often they're not. So
No.
they're. Was it Faye?
Faye Ray, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. fair.
Often recently they're used to protect the guy who's going to lose.
Yeah.
Canadian
So
American actress.
Yeah.
so Finn Balor and then the Demon.
Yeah.
The first time around with Kevin Owens,
Yep.
and then now Brock Lesnar, and it's just to protect. It was to protect him from the fact that technically they would have beat Roman had they not come down.
Right.
But in this case, like I said, you almost didn't need it.
Yeah.
Because like every time Brock hit a suit, like because it took like 3 minutes to hit the first suplex, because the story they were telling was Roman going like, "No, motherfucker," like holding on to the rope, like,
Yeah.
"You're not suplexing me. I've been here before.
Oh, yeah.
We're not doing this again."
No, yeah.
All right.
Eventually, you got him, but otherwise,
Yeah.
great pay per view.
To me,
It does lead it to the continued
Yes.
story with
Brock,
with,
yeah.
with Brock,
and with Brock being gone, Roman
him
can
with-
move on to a couple of things, and then when Brock comes back for Royal
then
Rumble. No, but here's
Paul
the
Heyman
deal.
will be in
I
there
agree
again,
with
yeah.
Aaron Bowles. 8 out of 10, the bar for Saudi shows is now actually quite high.
It's definitely higher.
Yes.
It has increased the leverage of
But
that, yes.
but again, and we're not talking about religious political stances. I think the Prince.
The shows themselves in the past
Yeah.
have fucking been trash.
Right, yeah. No. I agree. But Jesse,
Yes.
I
The
will.
Fiend
Yeah, but Jesse,
and Goldberg,
I will say this though.
Undertaker and Goldberg.
Yes.
Man, by the way, did you just notice the 2 first matches I mentioned?
No,
Well, at least
no one
the
noticed.
third time was the charm. He had a good match.
Yeah, but Jesse, what I
Didn't
think,
concuss himself this time.
what I think this showed,
Fucking idiot.
and again, forget political statements, forget religious. I think that this has raised the bar where the Prince has realized, okay, I like what you're currently doing.
Yeah.
Just give me make me part of your story, and not just something on the side that we're doing.
Now I can't stop laughing now that I mentioned that. How fucking much of a meathead do you have to be to fucking concuss yourself
Yes.
before a match?
Yes.
That you didn't even remember that you're going in there with a dude just as old as you with a bad hip.
Yep.
Like, you fucking idiot. They gave you your own trailer so you didn't hurt yourself or other people, and you still concussed yourself.
Yep.
He was thinking he was younger. That's unfortunate. That's all I can say about that.
Well, folks, we are now beginning a
God rest his soul, but Kevin Green was better.
Fair enough.
Okay, yes.
We are now moving into a new season of WWE. And by the way, interestingly enough,
Hopefully
folks,
it doesn't filter fucking Concussionberg.
fair enough. Funny story, folks. Funny story, folks.
Oh, yes.
Even though we actually are on the train that he's out, oddly enough, the season premiere of Monday Night Raw is going to feature a certain Mr. KO,
Yes.
which almost tells me they might be having something for him, whether on the way out or something.
I keep thinking there's a chance that they're going to try to put the WWE title on him just to see if they can keep him for at least another year.
And if they do, they might keep him longer because who knows in a year what's going to happen when you run out of surprises. I'm sorry. No, I'm serious. How do you get bigger than Punk and Danielson? Seriously. This is actually WWE topic now for right now.
Oh, it's worse. How do you get bigger than Punk, Danielson, Minoru Suzuki, fucking Adam Cole, baby.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
I hate to say it, but we're slowly getting to a point where I don't even think our show deserves to give him that anymore because he's done nothing good in AEW.
Christian Cage and Big Show don't even. I feel bad for Christian Cage because he had to drop a title in a company that actually would give a fuck about him being back,
just to go back to
a company that has nothing for him.
But Jesse, Jungle Boy needs a mouthpiece every 3 months.
Oh, gee. Well, that's what she said too, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but
yes.
you'd be filling her mouthpiece.
Well, that's true.
They are basically telling you that my talent is too weak to speak on his own, so I have to get this legend to do it, even though technically the legend can still wrestle.
Bound for Glory has come and gone. Great show.
Yes.
Congratulations to Awesome Kong.
Do you have the card?
I believe he does.
Oh. Well, yes.
But
damn, you're the math man.
Before we get to the card,
I'm trying.
Congratulations go out.
Actually, you know what? Now I'm a little mad at you because you got the chance to meet Scott Steiner.
Yes.
And you didn't get him to do the damn math promo?
We didn't have to. He didn't have to. He did it on Coda Jacobs. We didn't have to do it.
Yes.
You'll see it on Fight. Trust me.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay,
we're good.
okay.
No. We're good.
I was about to say, wait a minute, you son of a bitch. You got the chance to see him, and you didn't get the math promo?
I was working. I was working.
And he did call your favorite shovel-wielding gentleman a fat ass.
Oh, yes.
A couple times.
A fat boy, yeah.
A fat boy.
Oh, I love when he calls people fat boy. I can't wait to watch this.
Yes.
I love Scott Steiner.
Although I will say this, every time I have seen our boy Joey Jet Avalon, he continues to be like we used to talk about Laney Luck.
Yeah.
He is getting in much better shape.
Yes, he is.
Every time you see him.
Because it's one of those things.
And the guys in the MAW locker room, by the way, they're all under the impression he'll be signed in the next 2 years.
Probably.
They're all under that impression.
Probably. Well, and that's not just because I love Paul Burke personally.
Yeah.
But he's good.
All right. But anyway.
All right. He tweeted, I got called a fat ass by Scott Steiner last night, and he did some math. Dreams do come true.
Yes.
And
also,
I shared that tweet, and I replied to him, and it was a damn good show.
I will say this, and we'll get into what he actually said earlier. I don't think you were ever going to beat Barbarian so bad that he was going to kick Haku out of the Faces of Fear. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
But anyway.
And the great part, he did like the reply.
Nice.
I was happy about that.
But anyway, before we even get into this card, hats off, congratulations to Awesome Kong.
Mm-hmm.
More than deserving of this.
Deserved.
Gail Kim and Awesome Kong were the modern day David Goliath of my life that I got to see, and they were great.
Listen, those two women, they were the first women to main event in an American company.
Yep.
Because their story was so damn good, and you were so
And by
invested.
the way, Dutch Mantell
Yeah.
was their producer.
Yes.
Not Vince Russo.
That's when things went wrong.
Yes.
Um,
That's when things went
funny, he has a track record
of being a shit stain. Yeah, we know.
ending up in places, and then it goes to shit. I digress.
We're not here to talk about him. We're here to talk about a very deserving woman.
The only thing that ever upsets me about Awesome Kong is that she didn't get the chance to wrestle longer in WWE because she decided to have a family, which is fine.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that.
Because I always thought if she would have had a great 4-year run, you'd have been like, yeah, not only Impact, but I'm pretty sure WWE is going to put her in.
Yeah.
But she deserves it. Yep. I love that woman.
I'm actually glad that she got out of the AEW.
That's my big sis right there.
Yep. I'm actually glad that she got out of AEW when she did because I didn't want her career to end with an AEW segment. I'm sorry.
Not with that shit.
No.
And I did thoroughly enjoy her in the 2 seasons of Glow.
Yeah,
yes,
she was great.
Yes, fantastic.
Beautiful.
But yeah, no. It's like, folks, I get it. We're here to praise her, but when Kenny was booking that shit, we didn't need her to have her career be stained by that.
Not like that.
No, that. And by the way, to have Brandy be at the head of it.
So to the card.
To the card.
All right, card. First off on the card, it was the inaugural Impact Digital Media Championship. It was a 6-way intergender match. We had Jordan Grace, Chelsea Green, Falaba, John Schuyler,
Falaba. Sorry.
Falaba,
yeah.
sorry,
No, it's all good.
and Madison Rain. It's a damn good match.
Yeah.
And
Almost got murdered by Falaba, by the way.
Yeah,
there we
right.
go. And
Watching your wife do that. Sorry, Josh. Sorry, Josh.
She almost
I
died.
I was so happy to hear in this that our girl, Jordan Grace, won and got that.
Who I'm going to try to
First-
reach out to so we can try to
First,
interview her.
Fantastic.
first winner of
We got
the
George
Digital
Kittle
Media
coming on the
Championship.
show at some point.
Man.
Hopefully, Jordan Gray. We're moving up in the world.
And we can get hurt.
It was a good match. It was a good match
Oh, yeah.
overall.
Great. Yep.
We're gonna run through this card a little quick here. But
All right, but real quick, Scott D'Amore deserves all the credit in the world, and here's why I say this.
he stopped working with Kenny. Yes.
Well, outside of that,
He stopped working with Tony Khan. Yes.
At the end of the show.
it's one of the things I keep talking about. I wish Vince would go, you know what? It's 2021. I'm going to just fucking do it again.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with intergender matches. You see it all the time on the indie scene. These women can compete with these men, and most of the time they're better. Like, you don't have to shy them away from the men's wrestlers. And this match, and as you'll see later on in their Battle Royal, proves it. Go ahead, continue the card.
All right, next place with the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champion with the premiere of Inspiration, as we all know who they are, winning the titles.
We said at the top, I was happy for them. I think that I don't know what her name is right now, but Peyton is.
Cassandra Kay.
Casey Lee and Jessica
Thank you.
McKay is
Thank
who
you.
Casey,
they have
okay.
listed as.
Casey, I think, finally understands. Now is not the time to have the solo run
Right.
because this is so not to no pun intended. This is so iconic what you're actually doing in a wrestling ring together.
People forget the beautiful people didn't break up for a long time.
Yep.
In Impact, so
And by the way, once they got away from Vince Russo's slut booking, because
Yeah.
that's what they were,
yeah,
they were actually very legitimate
yes they were.
as a women's tandem.
People were like, oh, I guess Angela can actually fucking wrestle. It's like, yeah.
Early on, they were whores because that's what Vince Russo
Yeah.
does to the women's wrestlers, and he did that to make sure that Impact and Jeff Jarrett didn't realize, oh, Dutch Mantel should be our head writer, not you. So that was Vince protecting himself. But anyway, no, these two, what they can do in the women's world right now, I think that Casey realizes, okay, we just have to do that
Right.
because, folks, that is actually something Vince can't take a loss on because he didn't decide to do it.
Right.
She asked for it. And when Vince put her in another tag team with Lacey, it was because Lacey didn't have anything going on at the time, but you realize that Peyton wasn't ready for it.
Right.
But now, and again, don't want to speak for lovely young lady, very smart young lady.
Very smart.
I think they both get it. I think they'll be fine. They are fantastic together.
She's a better wrestler than her fiance, so she will get her singles run.
You are never going to give that man credit.
Fuck him.
Next match, please.
All right, X Division match. Trey Miguel defeated El Fantasmo and Steve McLean to get the pin. by
Trey
pinfall.
has made me a believer in him. Here's the deal. I don't care what anyone says. I didn't see, not Trey the wrestler, I didn't see the gimmick going very far.
Right.
I had nothing against his in-ring stuff. Although, when he combined it with the gimmick, it was a little corny.
It was a little weird.
But he's won me over. Everything about this guy fit. He's the Riddle of Impact to me. For some reason, I just can't not want to see Trey.
The strangest thing about Trey McKell is that I was scared for him because I'm like, well, without his rascal brothers, what are they going to do with him? He has succeeded in
You
exceeding
can't
my
say that those
expectations.
three guys don't own life right now because they're all three doing great everywhere they're at.
Yeah.
It's not like NXT 2.0 has buried MSK.
They're what they want out the tag team. Guys who are exciting to watch and
Yep.
cut really fun promos.
Yep. And apparently Beth Phoenix realized just pass the popcorn. Anyway,
That's true. That's the best thing to do.
that is the best thing Beth Phoenix has done post her wrestling career, and I loved every second of it.
Hey, you know what? Officiating that wedding was kind of fun too.
And
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
All right, next was a tag team match.
But I guarantee you Beth was not told to do that. She just was like, well, you know what? I could be the average commentator and just slide out of the ring or just stay here and grab popcorn.
There you go.
Beth was hungry. And
Yeah.
it's a long production.
It is. It's a very long day.
It's a long day.
Very long day.
Go ahead, Leroy.
We know that.
Yeah.
Next was a tag match, and Heath and Rhino defeated Violent by Design.
This was just a fun spot.
Right.
This was just a good time.
Right.
I loved this. I actually got warm, fuzzy feelings from this.
It was only a 5-minute match.
And
Yeah.
Heath's kids got their Uncle Rhino.
They got
back.
Uncle
So,
Rhino back.
We're good.
And then
Way to take a gimmick that like Vince didn't care about when you you stealing when you left.
Scott D'Amore
It's so good.
went, why didn't Vince, I've worked with Vince. How did he not think this would work?
Why did we not think this through? But
I'll
anyway,
take it.
but anyway, go ahead.
the next was a 20 and they did not write these 20 wrestlers because that'd be a lot.
That's fine.
20 wrestler intergender call your shot gauntlet match. In the end, Moose last eliminated Matt
So Money in the
Cardona.
Bank without the ladders. Got it.
Yeah, Moose won that one.
Once again, y'all shit on Vince, but Vince comes up with ideas that you steal anyway.
With a small modification. That
Yes,
the last two in the ring, you can actually win by pinfall or
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Next was for the Impact Tag Team Championship.
I'm just gonna let Jesse
Oh.
soundbite this again. Jesse,
Okay.
why are they clowns in AEW?
Like, if you watch this match, you're reminded that they're a good tag team.
They're a great tag team.
And then you watch them on AEW or even, like, you watch them on fucking BTE, which I haven't watched in months.
Don't.
And you're like,
It's a good
what are these fucking clowns?
BTE is apparently the official place where people tried to tell me on the internet that, wait, that proves he was going to be Keith Lee's manager because they made fun of it on BTE. Yeah, BTE's the place for true behind-the-scenes news.
They become the place of journalism.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
BTE.
Because you know what? Let's forget that Adam Cole and Keith Lee and everyone else in NXT and everyone else
Said that was false.
said that no one knew anything about. Let's ignore the fact that it's the biggest lie in like 8 companies that Adam Cole was never told and had no idea. Let's forget that everyone in WWE, AEW, TNA, even in XFW, whatever the fuck it is. Let's forget the fact that the biggest kept secret in wrestling that all the people in the locker room are saying is, yeah, that was actually really. Yeah, let's forget that that's a big conspiracy over 18 companies. Fuck you, people.
God.
There you go. Yeah, the Good
But anyway,
Brothers.
back to this, Jesse. They are not clowns anywhere but on AEW because they're because they're just.
On New Japan Strong, they treat it so fucking seriously.
They really are
Yeah, they're good.
They're not even allowed to cut comedy promos in New Japan.
because they were never really a comedy act in New Japan.
And then I see them.
They're funny, but they're not a comedy act.
Anytime I see them on fucking AEW television, they got the earrings, fucking like Machine Gun Kelly doing this stupid little fucking dance and putting finger guns in the air.
The
and
bad
shaking
beret.
Like what the fuck are we doing? Like, why are you debasing yourself for these two fucking idiots from California? I have invited them. You two can fucking add them to Twitter and invite them. I invite the Young Bucks to please defend yourselves because I don't know how many times I have to watch your friends look like idiots on your show, go somewhere else and be treated seriously. It makes no sense.
See, Gato would actually be very nice to Kenny if they ever repair
Well,
their
the
relationship.
problem isn't he doesn't have to mend with Gato. He has to mend with Ming, who's the owner.
Right.
Or Mang.
Man.
Because he fucked up there.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know. They told him, well, if you start this company, let us work with you.
Yeah.
And all fucking 4 of them, well, Cody actually was honest about it.
Yeah.
But the other 3 tried to hide it the whole fucking time, and Kenny being the worst offender. Because Kenny was like, actually, I might just go to WWE. Because he was so upset about his booking, which, of course, Gato screwed up.
We agree.
But why are you allowing your friends to look so fucking dumb? All I'm going to say is this. They look like the smart heel champions you thought they were because technically Finn Juice won this match.
Yes.
But Machine Gun Kelly used a smart heel tactic of
Machine Gun Carl Anderson.
Thank you.
We
Sorry.
don't. No.
Sorry.
It's fine, but
Because he's also a clown.
Yeah.
But
different show,
different artistry, but definitely a clown.
different show.
But here's the thing. And he throws him out the ring. He gets the pin, and then they get out there. They get out of there still with the Impact Tag Champs.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
It's just, can we see this more consistently?
Now, did David?
Well, hopefully they will.
Okay, did David Finlay ever win that match that King Switch talked about?
He lost.
He did lose. Okay.
So they had that match in New Japan Strong
Yep.
2 months ago.
Is King
He
Switch
did
still
lose.
the never open
Yes.
champion? He makes even that title
Feel important as shit.
feel more important. And no offense to Shingo, but I mean, like, that title's important.
That title feels so important right now.
Yeah. But anyway, yep. Go ahead, Leroy. But yeah,
it's great stuff.
They are. It's so sad that they go to anywhere else and they're giants.
And also,
But
by
then they
the
go
way,
to AEW and they literally put on clown makeup.
to give Scott some credit where Gato has also failed,
Yeah.
this is probably what Hikuleo should have been doing.
Yeah.
Being in a tag team.
Well. Here's the deal. You talked about Hikuleo last week,
Yeah.
saying that he no one's really ever known how to use him.
Really, like outside of him being their brother, the God's brother, like he's almost But
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead,
right.
Leroy.
Next one, we have the Knockouts Championship, where we have a new champion, Mickey James.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Wow, we disagree.
I'm not a fan.
Wow.
Nick, thank you for that 9 minutes. It is the highlight of my career so far. Jesse, I still hate you for making me do it because fuck you.
But we got that footage, don't
Yes,
we?
we do.
And I held that camera
Yes, you-
straight.
You held it. Yes,
Hey,
sir,
man,
you
I
did.
stood by your side to make sure you didn't, kind of lose your way.
Piss my pants.
I thought you did.
May have done. I may have done that. I don't know.
I smelled something funny.
I did not shit myself. I was
Nick is a class act
yes,
above
but,
class
but,
act.
but here's the deal. Mickey was my girl above anyone else in that division when she was in WWE. It's just something about the fact that she could look as gorgeous as Tori Wilson and Sable, but wrestle as amazing as Gail Kim and Mae Young and just do everything. That woman was a gorgeous, beautiful, smart human being. But you end a reign of the hottest female in all of wrestling.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's weird coming from me because you guys know how I felt about Deonna Purrazzo from the beginning, which was, who the fuck are you? But she has had this amazing run. I'm just not happy that Mickey took away. And not that Mickey took away from a star, but Mickey took away from this particular run.
I'm happy to
Because you could have built someone overnight with ending this run. But anyway, go ahead, Jesse.
You're right, and yet I thought this was the right call.
It was a great match. Don't get me wrong.
Well, of course it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mickey, I never thought Mickey ever had a bad match. Even when it was one of those gimmicky matches where she had to wear a costume,
The thing I was
Mickey never had a bad match.
No, she never
I
did.
had been on this show before. I can't remember the episode.
Yeah.
But I always said Vince is doing her a disservice by not letting her wrestle because she can still fucking go.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Got no problem with it.
Okay.
They're trying to build their name. They're trying to move to an actual cable source
Which is
channel so people can watch.
Yeah.
Mickey
I hope
James
so.
is a very well-known name.
Yes, 100%.
And it's believable that Deonna Purrazzo will be bested by someone who's probably going into the WWE Hall of Fame as well at some point.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Mickey's
I
never
get
burned Mickey's never been burned a bridge.
Right.
Even with the whole bag thing, I think that
well,
was,
they were on her side. Fired, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Got him the fuck out of there. Triple H read what she said, was like, I'm going to investigate this. And 2 days later, he was like, he's fucking gone.
Because to be fair, folks, I'm going to be 100% honest. I 100%, because I am willing to admit how business works, I doubt Vince even knew that was happening.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. It's so below his calendar of
Technically,
things to
that's
do.
below Triple H, too. So, like, when they found out, I love that they went and were like, Mickey, we're going to investigate this.
Yeah.
They found out it was true that he had done this to multiple people, got them the fuck
And
out of there.
by the way, I'm mad at Maria for jumping on the bandwagon being like this happened before. Well, why didn't you say something?
Right.
Twitter's been around for a while now.
And you know Triple H will look into it if he reads it, if
Right.
it becomes a thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think that is something you blame on Vince or anyone high up
And
because
Vince, high credit to going to his son-in-law going, find out who did this.
Yeah.
If this is true.
because here's the
get
deal,
him the fuck out of here.
folks. Vince may be an all consuming person in terms of what happens in the actual money making company,
Right.
but the handling of people that are no longer employees.
The handling is usually a talent he has left. Well, unfortunately with John Laurinaitis, of course, but also Triple H
yeah,
and his daughter.
yeah.
So it's one of those things where when you hear about
It's
these things, he
outsourced to
doesn't
some
know.
dude in HR.
right.
You know it is.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if Vince knew about it and it never comes out that he knew about it, okay, kind of shitty, and he
Right.
just kind of tried to save face.
Right.
But I honestly think if you want to look at this as a real business, not just a wrestling company,
Because they are a billion-dollar company.
because here's the deal: fans sometimes think that the kayfabe comes into the real business side
Like
of
he's
things.
a devil.
Yeah, yeah, no, he's not. I actually right now, unless proven wrong, 100% believe they had no clue.
I like I said, I don't think they knew, and which is why dude was fired as
Yeah.
soon as they found out. He admitted
yeah.
it. He got, and Triple H got him the fuck out of there because you're gone before Triple H is ever gone.
And he
So,
admitted that he was gone, so it's not like WWE brought the guy back
Yep.
without anyone knowing. He said he was gone.
They said that they fired me, and they actually didn't even give him his package on the way out. So
Nope.
they dealt with the situation. But
Yeah.
like I said, I have no problem with Hurt winning because now you have a feud to continue. Because to be honest, they unfortunately booked themselves into a corner because their women are so good that they've also had to put them with the men.
The females.
The females in Impact are fucking incredible.
No, the females
Oh, yeah.
in every company. Every company seems to have a booking problem with certain women.
Yeah.
Ruby's had that problem both
Mm-hmm.
times. Charlotte had that problem recently. Ruby's had that in two companies, but let's be honest with you. The fact that AEW is the fact that the fans aren't even willing to admit that they did the same thing to Ruby
They did the same thing.
that WWE did. That's a topic for another day because that actually deserves to be revisited. Because
By the way, did she lose that match to the Bunny or did she win?
she
No, she won.
she beat the Bunny.
Okay, she beat the Bunny
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hate to say it, Ruby is on par in ring with Britt Baker, so that's why that was booked poorly.
Oh, yeah.
But no,
Oh, my
no.
God.
Every company just seems to. I don't want to say not know how to book them, but they end up booking themselves into a corner.
Somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And in
Yep.
Impact's case, they have put Jordan Grace so close to the men's main event
Yeah, right.
that if she doesn't end up in that scene soon, it almost feels like they're bogging her down.
Yeah. All right.
Scott kind of fucked up there, but go ahead.
all
next
right,
match.
yeah.
All right,
go ahead,
next
Leroy.
one is for the Impact World Championship where Christian dropped it to Josh Alexander, but then, right after that, literally in the celebration, Moose came in, cashed it in, and beat him and pinned him for
Okay,
the championship.
Okay, just
Okay.
no.
All right.
Okay.
Listen here, motherfuckers. Not you two. You're pissed off at WWE. You hate when WWE does shit like this. But fuck all of you. They pull the trigger on this, and nobody fucking wants to admit that it's fucking 3 months too fucking late because it should have happened to Kenny Omega.
Yep.
I
Shut
agree.
the fuck up about this
totally
bullshit that WWE, even if they do something that you wanted, they do it poorly or late. How the fuck does Moose not become the savior of of Impact, TNA Impact?
Yeah.
How does he not fucking get that little smarmy motherfucker out of your goddamn wheelhouse? But you gotta fucking decide that you're gonna do something where you take Josh Alexander, who is one of the best in the world right now.
Yes,
He's
he
just
is.
on Twitch, not on cable.
Correct.
Soon to be hopefully on cable.
Yeah.
But fuck all of you for sitting here saying, well, they did the right thing. No, they fucking didn't. Because you know what? Josh Alexander did not deserve that moment. Yes, I know Josh will probably get something great out of it.
Correct.
They'll fix it in
Correct.
post, okay? I
Correct.
get that. But fuck all of you. Moose should have had this shit back when Kenny matched.
I agree.
This is a
Definitely
bunch of
agree with you
bullshit.
I
This is
agree.
fucking egregious, and it's a fucking moment where you goddamn hypocrites out there for AEW need to understand your shit's been stinking ever since you fucking fucked up the Adam Cole debut.
Correct.
Because you brought out Danielson, you were forced to do Cole. Fuck you on that. Your fucking momentum's dead because you keep booking yourselves into a goddamn sinkhole, and you motherfuckers need to understand something. You're mad when Vince does it, but don't admit it when someone else does it. Then you're not a hypocrite. You're a fucking one-sided loser,
True.
which technically is hypocrisy,
It's hypocrisy.
but it's like it's a step above to me because it's absolutely fucking egregious. This is bullshit. This match was great. It ended the way it should have. Even Moose calling his shot the very same night. I loved it, but you can't get the fucking stench that you lost to Kenny Omega, which Moose did not fucking deserve.
He didn't deserve
Moose
that.
did not need that stink on him.
By the way, unfortunately, the rumor is, or the one of the reports is that they were actually supposed to have that title match on Dynamite with Kenny Omega, but AEW changed their mind.
Of course they fucking changed their mind because guess what? Tony Khan doesn't give a shit about working with anybody. He does the same shit that Vince does, but he's a fucking mark so people like him.
There we go.
Every single wrestling promoter wants their guy to go
I mean,
over.
I don't think I got anything to add.
This is so egregious that you idiots do. Nobody gets out of this. Not my friends, not my family, not my goddamn closest confidants can get out of the fact that this is bullshit. Moose should have gone over on Kenny.
agree.
This shit should have happened at the last Bound for Glory. Or you fucking just have Kenny lose to Moose, which he should have fucking done, and then you could have had, I don't know, Josh come out and do this in reverse. It wouldn't have hurt either guy. But the thing about it is that this is a disservice to Moose, even though you gave him the Impact World title.
You're missing like the amen praise on the thing. You're missing a lot of things, man.
I gotta go ahead. Thank you for that lovely rant. This rant by lovely Zach Berjar is brought to you by water. Water. Because dang it, you need to drink it after that and get your mouth.
The only thing I think I feel like I should add to this.
I'm hotter than the Haitian heat, baby. There's your plug, Al. I'm too angry to get a good transition in.
The only thing
that's good.
Because, listen, Zach has said nothing that was unfactual. This should have happened 3 months ago. He should have beat him on Dynamite. If you really cared about the partnership, you would have let him beat him on Dynamite. Because that would have built Moose into the bigger star that he deserved to be. Because Moose has worked his ass off for over 2 years to get here.
Impact in one night did more for the African-American wrestlers than Dynamite's done in 2 years on television.
Thank God
Into-
that deal is
Jesse
done.
can't deny it. Jesse's
well,
not
that's
gonna-
just factual.
You've already talked about
Yeah, I was
that.
going to say. So, the only other person to blame here, and I'm not going to yell at you for it, Scott, but this is your fault. Because that was your title.
Yep.
And you could always still call Tony, yeah, no, we're doing this, or fuck off. Like, it's not that hard. Now, in the past we talked about how in pro wrestling nowadays we should have relationships where you can go and work for other companies
Yeah.
and other companies promote each other.
Yeah.
Because that raises all ships.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's better that way.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Dave in MAW does a wonderful job of that. Good man.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Hey, by the way,
Yeah,
Dave,
yeah.
sometimes go take a vacation, brother. Damn, you work so hard, man. He works so damn hard.
Promotes wrestling, MMA,
Oh, my God.
Women of Nations.
He
Eagles
works his
Nest.
ass off,
So
dude.
great. Yep.
He does take some vacation. He has to.
Take more.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Don't be Vince McMahon. We love you.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's the thing, man. This should have happened 3 months ago. So when Josh wins, and then I watched the aftermath, I went.
It was great, but it was.
Well, that's the problem.
It's not the moment that Moose deserved.
The problem was because people were like, "I mean, this is genius." Now Moose is more despised. He would have been. He's a heel, by the way. He's been a great heel.
Yeah.
But like, it would have been better overall for your company had he not been jerked around by the Kenny Omega fucking experiment.
Yep.
If he would have just beat Kenny Omega, okay, on AEW television.
And by the way, folks, you guys are so far up the Elite's ass, you wouldn't have given a shit if Kenny lost to Moose.
Nope.
You would have sat there and you would have done the same hypocritical, elitist bullshit that you give us for talking about WWE sometimes. You would have said the same thing. Oh, Kenny's above Moose. Yeah, you would have done the same shit, so don't fucking act like you wouldn't have.
Instead of building the Impact Championship as like this huge thing, and even Kenny wants to get it back from Moose, who just beat him now. Like, instead, you damn near killed a main event scene for like 7 months. Like,
Oh no! No. Once again, I don't give a shit if even you give them a pass. They killed that scene.
oh no, I'm not giving them a pass.
No one gave a shit about that scene for
that
a good couple
well,
of days.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, I got to give Scott some blame.
Yeah.
And by the way, Tony, you might lose another one. Well, I got a feeling they might lose New Japan soon. Because you cannot just throw Minoru Suzuki on fucking free television when they allow him to come back to America.
Jesse. As great as the match was, as much as we got to see it, Gato didn't. Gato's got a bad taste in his mouth. If you actually bring it up to him, Gato's got a bad taste.
Twice. They have lynched you, one of their legends. Something I didn't think they were going to do.
Next week. Oh, okay.
There's a reason.
Hold on.
There's a reason
Yeah.
Tanahashi will not be on AEW television.
Next week, we are going to go into depth on our early show because of Halloween. On our special Halloween edition, we're going to go into the tricks that AEW, not treats, have done with the New Japan partnership.
Oh shit! Write that down. You got to write that. I'm not going to be able to remember that. I'm getting old. That was beautiful. Another lovely promo and title brought to you by Zach B.
All right. We will not. You know what? I'm going to save this for our Halloween edition. Next week, we're going to talk about Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal.
Halloween Havoc.
Halloween Havoc. We'll talk about
Tuesday.
on Halloween because we get a show on Halloween.
Correct.
It's our first holiday show, I believe.
Yes.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I
anyway,
think so. No, we weren't here on the
Leroy.
4th of July.
Leroy,
Yo.
you and I had a little fun this
Oh, my
weekend.
Except for my ghetto hotel room.
I don't even. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I don't even care how long
Hey,
this story goes because
You
this
got a
was
picture
great.
on there for that, so.
Yep.
Nice.
I don't care how much longer the show goes at this point. If you want to stop listening to the show at this point, it's fine. We've gone 3 hours. But Leroy, we worked a live pay-per-view wrestling event,
Yes. This was
and it was amazing.
wasn't it, you said it was the 4th anniversary.
It wasn't the 4th anniversary, but 4 years ago,
4
folks,
years ago.
Midwest All-Star Wrestling, I think it was Billy's Bar, I think they said.
It's like a
But they
dive
started
bar
out
in
of a
Wisconsin.
dive bar in rural Wisconsin, and they were on Fight TV.
And wow.
And
I mean,
oh my God, did they put on a show.
and I think the best part of it is like they had a meeting, and everybody, including us, were in the back with the talent. Everybody, because it was great. They took us aside. The ring announcer and I took all the security by, and we did a little pep talk and stuff like that, and we did as we like to do. Will Bundy.
It was good.
It was good.
Um,
Went out there and
We drove 3.5 hours to a little town known as Rochester, Minnesota. It's known for the Mayo Clinic.
Correct.
We were at the Mayo Civic Center. It's a true civic center in that there were about 4 or 5 different stages in that place. I
yeah,
mean,
there was. Yeah.
There's about eight different event halls in there.
Oh,
You
it's
can do
huge.
stuff. Yeah,
It's
it's
huge.
great.
And the one thing that me and Zach did not get to do and regretted afterwards, they had a Mr. Machine there.
And
we
we
were at the
Oh,
picture,
wow.
yeah. And we got so busy.
If you
we didn't
guys
get a
want,
chance to do it.
find them on Facebook. Nerdin' Out Con. They bring in the best people that they can try and find. It's a fun place to go be a nerd for a few hours. Rochester's a nice town.
Yeah.
Leroy was able to find the most ghetto ass hotel across the street from a Marriott. I still don't know how the hell you did it, but you did it.
You're welcome.
Anyway,
Hey, it had a bed I could sleep.
so the
Am I
soup
right?
story.
Oh yes.
We were driving down I-35. There's a place called Rock Creek, Minnesota. To the side, they got a truck stop called the Rock Creek Cafe. It's good old-fashioned trucker food. It's hearty. It's the only thing we ate all that day as a full meal, and boy, did it fill us up.
Oh God, it
But
was worth it.
they have what they put on the menu as world-famous chicken dumpling soup. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if you don't know about it. It's the best damn chicken dumpling soup you're going to see. The dumplings come out looking wrinkled, Jesse,
Ooh, okay.
but they're hand-cut.
Yeah.
And Leroy, you're my witness. They're still flavorful. There's a bite to them. They're soft. The picture that's on our Facebook. You looked at you.
I put a picture on
You
it, yes.
believed me.
Oh God.
Once the cup of soup hits your table, that's when you believed me. Because it looked like the best damn cup of soup you ever done saw. It's chicken dumpling. It tastes like chicken. It tastes like dumplings, folks. First time this happened, I was going down to a Twins game. My buddy and I stopped. Jesse,
My
there's your
beautiful-
soup.
Beautiful picture. That's
It's good soup.
That's a nice looking.
It's good soup. It's amazing soup.
That is a hearty looking soup.
Oh, it's so good.
Sinner, I
so
didn't-
anyway,
I didn't-
Jesse.
I didn't say much. I'm like, because it was so good. I
Yeah,
didn't eat it, man.
but Jesse, so the first time this happened, I was driving down to a Twins game with a buddy.
Yeah.
We were stopping by so me and Tony were stopped at Rock Creek. Tony already loves this soup. It's his favorite soup in
Okay.
the world. We stopped there. Tony's eating the soup, full bowl of soup.
Mhm.
I'm like, you want to take some to go? He goes, dude, it's the middle of summer. It's going to get sour in the back of your car. I'm like, I was like, well, Willie lives down here and has a fridge.
Right.
He doesn't look at me. He doesn't acknowledge me. He just turns, looks at the waitress, puts his finger up, and says, "Half-gallon of soup, right here. Half-gallon of soup." The story's not done.
Okay.
We get to Willie's house.
Yeah.
We knock on Willie's door. We ain't seen this motherfucker in person in over a year. I knock at the door and say, "Willie, open the door. Tony's got soup." Willie opens the door, has a look in his face like, "Huh?" And Tony doesn't say hi, doesn't acknowledge him, just blows past both of us, opens his fridge, takes out the leftover Chinese, puts it on the stove, puts the soup in the thing, shuts the door, says, "Hi, Willie." And that was the story. Here, I asked Leroy,
Oh my God.
check our reservation.
Yeah.
Is there a fridge in the hotel room?
Right,
There
right.
was. So we bought a half gallon of soup. Luckily, this is Minnesota.
Yeah.
The 2.5 hours we still had to drive, it was cold enough in the back of the
Right,
car.
right.
The soup didn't spoil.
Right.
And then we drove home for 3.5 hours, and it was like 32 degrees, and the soup didn't go sour. But anyway, it's good soup. Rock Creek, please sponsor us because I want to freak out.
amazing.
We're gonna bring
I
it
don't
down
know
for
if
that
they're
soup.
All right, for
I don't
sure,
know
for
if they're
sure.
listening to us.
Hey,
but yes,
hey, hold on.
Yes.
You're coming to Women of Nations, aren't you?
Oh, I will be at Women of Nations.
Then we're gonna stop for some soup.
Yeah, I'm
all right,
going
but
to
anyway,
Women of
but anyway,
Nations.
so here's the deal.
Sweet.
All right. First of all, you might not know
I'll
something.
catch AEW a different time.
There you go. So, folks, you might not know some of the names.
They'll be in Chicago, I'm sure, in December. I'll go.
Craven Knight versus JT Energy.
Yeah.
Great opening match. Craven was great. JT does a little bit of the crazy, weird shit, but the
Okay.
crowd was into it, so
Okay.
it was great. Also, he's good in the ring.
Craven Knight, if because he's been doing a more national stuff. If he ever comes up on one of your local promotions, go see Craven, man. The guy's reminds me of almost a bigger Low Key.
Yes.
Like just
And
in
doesn't
the
have the
ring.
attitude problem.
It does not have the attitude problem.
Super nice guy. Joey Jet Avalon took on the Barbarian.
That's my guy right there. Joey.
He gave a promo at the beginning that said, "You people seem to not like me based on one thing, so now I'm going to give you 2 more things to hate me about." He said he was going to beat the Barbarian so bad that he was going to become his best friend and then kick